Welcome, my friends. Welcome. I am Omar Krieg, and this is the Krieg Dominion. I had notes. I was going to follow them almost to the letter, but now I forgot to even have my notes open right in front of me. Welcome to tonight's episode of Second Star. This is the second season's 16th episode entitled Interim. I am, of course, the storyteller, game master, referee, whatever term you prefer. You can use it. I'm not that picky. With me, of course, are my players. Charles, Wiggles, and Thurgor. So let's check in with them real quick because you know what? It's been a hot minute. It's actually been like 3 hot minutes. I'm not sure what that means, but it's been a minute since we last seen each other. So let's check in with them so I can play on my phone and not pay attention to anything. Charles, let's start with you. What's new and exciting for you, my friend? It's been honestly, probably close to a month since we
Yeah,
last saw
it's
each
since
other.
before the Christmas break.
Yeah, before the end times.
Yes.
Literally,
So
the end of the year.
uh right. Then that's always awkward when you like leave for the day before the New Year's Eve break and you're like, see you next year, and you're like, what?
Yeah, yeah.
But I get diverted. Um so Christmas happened, bunch of kids, a bunch of boy cousins together and Nerf guns, so
Oh
poor
yeah.
decisions all the way around.
That you definitely did not encourage. Absolutely did not happen. You were definitely there to be the bulwark against the storm, weren't you?
Um, Stacking and tactical,
As one should.
right? So yeah, that there was that, and other than that, let's see. I today was just an absolute waste of a day for work, so the next 2 days are gonna suck because we had to get moved out of our one office complex into a new one. I get moved to a new room and waiting for movers and other people to show up and start setting desks up, which supposedly they should have done last week, but whatever. Um, so yeah, other than that, work's well, moved, just knee deep in work, and it's cold. It's maybe snowed, kind of, sort of around me.
It's rained for sure.
It's rained. Yeah, I can't really decide what it wants to do, and everyone is losing their mind.
Yeah, yeah. Which is status quo, really, for this
Yeah,
area.
yeah, exactly. So other than that, that's about my update since last year.
Since last year. 2 weeks ago.
Right?
Wiggles, my friend. Again, it's been a while since last we saw each other. What's new and exciting for you and yours?
Did a big old day out in Bakersfield for sort of holidays.
Nice.
Went to a very nice all you can eat buffet, and then we went to Dave and Buster's, which I haven't been to in a very long while, and it was nice going to an actual real arcade with actual real arcade games and aren't just fucking. I'm not supposed to swear this early.
Don't worry. I saw it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I looked at the time. I almost said something. I was just gonna let it go because it is what it is. But for the record, 3:31.
No, there's just so many arcades nowadays that are just like fucking just mobile games.
Yeah.
And like I'm not like upset that they're mobile games. I'm just upset that so many of them are mobile games.
Right.
Uh yeah, no, and Dave Buster had a fantastic arcade. The best game that my brother and I played was the arcade version of Mario Kart. That was really good. That
Oh.
was really strong.
Oh man, I bet that was a hell of a time right there. That had to
Yeah,
be
no,
fun.
that's the one we burnt the most money on.
I bet. That definitely checks out.
Yeah, no, that was really fun. And then we ended up having to take the Amtrak bus home because it turns out on Christmas Eve, unbeknownst to me, that they removed the last current transit bus home back to Mojave Bakersfield. They canceled that on Christmas Eve, and I did not know that when I'm at the Bakersfield.
That's
So
brutal.
yeah. So I had to buy Amtrak bus tickets to get home, but I'm glad those existed because that's cheaper than getting a hotel room for the night.
Yeah,
But
that
still,
definitely helps
that's
out.
but that's an unexpected $52. I wasn't planning on spending.
But there's worse ways to lose $52. Let me tell you.
Yeah. No, we got home and all that matters. Then California had the big winter storm.
The smart ass in me wants to say something like, "What did you dip below freezing for first time in 77 years?" But I
Yeah,
digress.
well, I'm in the high mountains. I'm above 3,000 feet, so it does actually get
Yes.
pretty cold up here.
Okay.
It was sleeting for most of the night. The Tash Mountain Range got covered in snow, and yeah, we lost power for probably about an hour and a half or so during one point of the winter storm.
Damn, that can be rough.
Yeah, no, that
Super rough.
was not pleasant. We didn't get any snow. We just got we got frozen water on the ground. We just got ice on the ground. No snow, just ice.
That almost
So that
sounds
was
like
fun to
our
deal with.
winter. That sounds like our winter storms here, except not exactly.
And I might be in a podcast about GMing advice.
Nice. I think you mentioned that last time. I feel like you did. Maybe you did. Maybe you didn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird, and maybe time works differently inside my own brain dome. Time not being
We're
linear.
still trying to get everyone together and figuring out what to call ourselves because we gotta check to make sure that the name still exists to be registered.
Oh yeah. You don't need copyright problems because that sounds like a cool name. Nobody else could have ever thought of it.
So I learned that the top level domain .gm exists, which sounds really awesome for a GM podcast, right?
Yeah, it does.
But the country Gambia, who they belong to, only
As
sells
the
.gm,
GM, yeah.
but they only sell them to registered Gambian businesses.
Right, which makes sense.
Yeah. A podcast I was gonna start, gonna help my mom do about Twilight Zone. I learned that .tz was a TLD you can buy, and that was Tanzania.
That also checks out. As soon as you
Yeah,
said
and
TZ,
they're
I was
like,
like
whatever.
Tanzania. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tanzania was way more cool about it. They didn't care who bought theirs. But Gambia is like, no, only Gambian businesses.
I mean, that checks out with a country looking after their own economy. Not saying Tanzania didn't.
It's a very small country. I get it, but still, it would have been cool to have a .gm.
Yeah, especially for something specifically Game Master related. That would have been the steal.
Yeah, so we've been throwing around a lot of names. My favorite name right now that I thought of was Polyhedral Practice.
That's not a mouthful at all. I like it though. I like it.
The other one I liked that we threw out there was Page Reference.
That's also not a bad one either. That really isn't a bad one at all. I like that one. It's a little clever, forces one to think a little bit, which is kind of the point of, DM advice or GM advice. Think about what you're doing. What is your goal? What are your resources? How do you want to get there?
A more tongue-in-cheek one was the person that buys everything.
That's usually the GM. Yeah. It's amazing. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Thurgor. We meet again.
All right.
What do you got for us, man?
As far as his website name, I liked it when you said copyright problems. But anyway, so my new year has been kind of goes along with my last year. I spent New Year's Day doing colonoscopy prep. Spent the second doing a colonoscopy.
You started off shitty.
I did. Well, I finally got some good news anyway.
I needed the pun. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Actually,
I finally got my lab
clear of shit. Actually, with all the
yeah, I definitely was.
Stuff on up there.
Yeah, I definitely was. But I did get my labs back yesterday, and at least it's not colon cancer. So
that's always a positive.
Yep. I still don't know what's going on, but they're going to refer me to the gastroenterologist, which I may not get to see until like March,
Oh,
because of the way they do specialists up here. He's
yeah.
having a clinic like 2 weeks from now, but it's already full, so the next one's not until March. And I told him if they had cancellations to let me know, and I'd see if I could get over there. So maybe I'll be able to see him at the end of this month, or maybe it'll be March. I'm
It's
actually
always
doing
rough
better,
when you.
so
It's
yeah.
always rough, and I don't know if it's an American health industry thing or if it's just a global thing. I feel like it's an American one, but man, when I'm sick, I want to be seen now. I don't want to wait until I'm not sick to be seen.
Mhm.
But I
Well, if I
also
lived down
understand
south
how it
somewhere,
works.
it wouldn't be that big a deal. If I lived back in Arkansas, there's gastroenterologists right there in the state. But up here in
Yeah,
Alaska, all of them are locum, and so they just swing by every couple months.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you happen to be in
So
like Anchorage.
right. But then again, a lot of the medical resources are native only too.
Yeah.
Like the whole of ANMC is native only, so I can't really seek care there. Other than that, I've spent the last 3 weeks bugging the crap out of Omar,
Yeah, it has.
trying to get our start back here all lined up, and we've got some lovely uh, new robot stuff to look at,
A
and
cat with its own laser
yeah,
that
and then
can
the
chase a
security
thumb.
robot that's capable of doing all sorts of heinous things. Um,
Which I'm
and
sure
I have
he's gonna be like, I wrote it on the sheet that I gave you that you said go for it. And I'm gonna be like, I don't remember seeing that on there. I know that conversation is gonna happen because I'm not gonna lie to you.
yeah.
I wanted to pay attention, but man, my brain has been wandering on about 71 different tasks over the
Oh,
last
I
two
bet.
weeks.
I did get the initial draft of the rolling class protected courier drawn up. The original from whatever version that was 400 ton, where the current version of the Econet's 300, but it just wasn't doable without making it 400 tons. So I guess in our campaign, the Econet's going to be a 400 ton class ship.
Eh,
Uh,
what's 100 tons
we'll
between
see.
friends?
So anyway, I think I stuck to the lore part of it pretty well. And then we have a little time left, I think, to do some customization and all that kind of stuff. But it's looking pretty sharp. It's a fast ship.
Yeah,
It has an
holy shit.
excess. It has an excess of power because they stripped so many weapons off of it that all had to have power.
Yeah.
So our
I
power
mean,
plant.
listen, let's not get crazy here. The French are not going to be terribly enthused about somebody using their own shit against them. So yeah, they're going to take their shit off of there.
What would make them think we would actually attack the French? That would be not smart.
Yeah, but imagine from the French point of view where it's like, I thought we were going to take their weapons. They didn't seem like a threat. Well, then why are they throwing our own missiles back at us?
We're gonna make new ones. I don't know if my next skill needs to be starship design or what, but we're gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna design it. Hopefully, maybe I don't know. It's a drone, so it's not really a robot, but we'll figure it out.
It'll be a swarm of fighter drones that all weigh about 78 pounds. I'm sorry, 78 kilos, with a laser and an engine and a brain.
Oh no, they're like a small bus. And they're cheap in retrospect. There's some other missiles, like single shot missiles that cost as much as they do. But anyway, we'll get to that later. That'll be a nice addition later on.
All I hear is more gray hair on my head.
They'll just have PDCs on them, so
Oh
that's a
yeah,
civilian weapon.
that can't go wrong. That can't go wrong. You got anything else?
No, I'm ready to get going.
All right, so real quick, just to kind of give people an idea of what has happened. When we broke at the end of the last arc, which was basically recovering the Durandal and getting things set up, to do all the fixing of it and making it their own ship, we had intended to come back the first week of January. I believe, as memory serves, the first week somebody was sick. Last week, my face was swollen to shit. I had just a major problem that I'm not gonna go into all the details on because we'd spend half the night talking about it. But like the left side of my face got all swolled up. It was pretty ugly. I mean, I'm pretty ugly to begin with, but the swelling itself was ugly. And then, just one more feather in my cap for reasons why January 2024 might go down in history as fuck you month. My car died the other day, and I need to come up with $1,500 to get it repaired. Now, fortunately, today, this afternoon, I put some things in place where I'll have the money. But I'm still out of car for a couple more days, but that's, we're making progress in the right direction. So I've had a bit of time of it. Not to mention, on a more positive side of things, ugly on ugly isn't pretty, according to Stormbender, and he's not wrong. Or they are not wrong. I don't even know Stormbender's gender. I shouldn't assume. On a more positive note, though, I have also been spending a lot of time in the last couple of weeks with a handful of people to start a new project for this stream, for this channel. So starting on Tuesday, the 23rd, there will be a new show launching. And if you've been in the Discord, you probably have a fairly safe guess as to what it is. And if you haven't been in the Discord, why are you not in the Discord? Get in there! Exclamation Discord in the stream chat will give you the link. Otherwise, in the YouTube videos, in the description is the link for the Discord server. And that was my effortless plug and shameless plug for my Discord community. Stormbender says they are a he. I will endeavor to remember that. No promises, because I can't remember shit.
I won't. I forgot already.
Yeah, exactly. All that said... Go ahead, Wiggles.
Who are you? What's happening? Where am I?
I know, we're playing Traveler.
What's that?
It's a game.
Oh.
There's dice and shit. And you get shot a lot. Just you, personally.
Yeah, and the person who got the Sedura armor, the person who hasn't been shot.
Ironically. He said CRS syndrome, which I'm assuming is can't remember shit. Sucks if he remembers correctly. Give me one quick second. What's up? Going down to... Go for it. All right, let's go ahead and get started, my friends. We are not going to do a recap because this is the start of the final arc of Season 2. Credits roll. Names flash by on the screen. White block lettering on a black screen that eventually fades into the view of a frozen world deep in space. Storms rack the planet. The camera moves in closer to an overhead shot of a crashed ship and a swirl of activity around it. A dozen smaller ships, drones, or other small craft, all tethered to the ship. We hear the roaring winds, the whine of many small engines, the sounds of lines going taut, and a groaning, creaking sound. The ship is lifted up off the ground and the tugs climb, seemingly slowly, crawling and reaching ever higher until that ship is now placed in orbit above this frozen, rocky world. Briefly, a date takes form in the lower left of the screen, reading 15th October, 2297, and then replaced with the word Grendel, which does not reflect exactly what's on the screen that we are all staring at. More on that in a moment. The camera swings away, and before it leaves that scene, we see the tugs all separate their lines from the once forsaken ship as it begins to move under its own power, but we see not where it is headed. Instead, the camera swings wide and zooms away impossibly fast. Stars warp into long, incredibly thin lines. We are moving fast, speeding through the cosmos, turning from time to time, and we arrive over another world, this one nothing more than slowly spinning rock, nearly complete, without any special markings or noteworthy enough to be important. Nearby, several ships bearing the red maple leaf on a red and white background exchange fire with ships that are difficult to identify against the inky black of space. Lasers and missiles cross paths with one another, and the Canadian ships are struck by far more often than their opponents. Two of the six Canadian ships suddenly erupt into blindingly bright balls of white light and rapidly expanding plasma, while a third drifts out of formation, fire and smoke billowing ominously from a large number of holes in its hull. The other three, none of which are untouched by damage, begin to pull away, exchanging only enough fire to ensure their ability to disappear into FTL. The date at the bottom of the screen shifts from October to January 2298, and the planet name changes from Grendel to Chengdu. And while that happens, the background of a slowly spinning, misshapen rock in black of space fades out and then fades back in, revealing a blue-green world beneath and many, many starships in low orbit. A few in one corner of the screen are listing to one side or burning, while the majority of the rest are in a near-perfect formation, several rows, columns, and divisions. A massive beam bursts from the belly of one ship, aiming downward to the planet itself, burning through clouds until it finally strikes the surface of the world. The image fades, and we are brought back to our first scene, the date reading January 25th, 2298 at first, and then suddenly reversing back to Saturday, October 10th, 2297. planet shown as Beowulf. It is impossibly bright, sunny day, giving the feeling of a warm, almost possibly even a hot day, as 4 people are on an outdoor firing range, 3 of them laying prone with assault rifles, taking aim at targets in the distance, while the 4th, kneeling beside them, is pointing and giving instruction. So for right now, it is October 15th, 2297, and we are looking at Fritz Hellwig, the direct action team leader, and he is on the firing range with his 3 heroes, Carl Spearman, Buford Aiello, and Kirsty Blaine. And they are getting familiarized with some oddly French-looking assault rifles. Carl Spearman, having suffered some significant injuries a few months ago, now appears to be almost completely back to normal. And overall, everyone is back in more or less tip-top shape following the events of Grendel. Give me one quick second after that lengthy opening. I need to check in with my kid.
Okay, so he's away. So let's talk shit about him.
I'm right.
He has,
I
like, a
was here the
potato
whole
face.
time, you son of a bitch.
Fuck!
Okay, so yeah, Charles, we're starting with you and Hellwig and your 3 shooters, and you're on the range. Talk to me. This is your opportunity to get your people trained up on the, I forget the name of it, but the French assault rifle that you all got. Charles? We lose Charles?
Nope,
We did it.
nope. I was
He's
in
back.
double mute.
You were in double mute. Wow, what did you do to yourself?
I have the little mute button on my headset, and I had toggled it, and then you know, when I'm sitting there trying to untoggle it, but I'm pushing it too fast, so it decided to be. Anyhow.
I got you, man. I got you.
Anyhow, yeah. So we're just gonna go through the whole, this is your rifle. This shoots blah blah blah. But then, as we get near the end of this, and just for the sheer coolness of the scene, there was the SWAT movie, right, with Samuel L. Jackson and all them cats.
Yeah.
And they're all at the range with
Yeah.
all the pistol cards, with all the playing cards up there.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's what we're, and I'm like, okay, guys, just to have some fun. Here's your rifles. Best person to make best 5 card with shots have to be through center. And so I let them go out and yeah, let them all set up on their respective lanes, and I will be spotting and say go. Okay. So Io and the other 2 and Blaine, and just say, all right, 1 shot at a time, and whoever can make the best 5 card draw hand happen.
Okay. So actually, you know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna open up their. I gotta find that spreadsheet. Give me just a second though. It won't take.
Yeah.
It's not that I have to find it. It's just a matter of navigating to it. And my computer keeping up with me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. PC teams. Ooh, excuse me. All right. So we're just gonna do a basic 8+. But I need their stats really quick. So, waiting for Excel. All right, starting with Kirsty Blaine is the first one I got. She has a Dex mod of 1, and she has Rifle 1, so that's a +2. So go ahead and give me a 2d6, 8+, +2. Bam.
That would be.
That's an 11.
Yep.
All right, so I'm gonna make note real quick. Blaine scored 11. All right, and then we've got Spearman, who has no Dex mod and Rifle 1, so this would be a +1.
Okay.
Fail.
Oh,
Spearman.
Well, I kind of expected that.
Spearman. Fail. It's the French weapon. They have the ejection port just a little bit too far further forward, and it fucks with his head. I don't know.
Well, that and him and his brother were probably out late last night, even though I say come home on time.
Yeah,
and,
of course.
You know.
And then Aiello, he is also a +1. So that's an 8. So obviously, not that this is a surprise for anybody, narratively, Blaine with the 11 versus a failed and versus an 8. Blaine walks away with like a 3 of a kind.
Yep.
And the other two, Spearman doesn't even get like a high card. He just fucks it all up. And then Aiello probably gets like a pair maybe, but it's just not enough to beat a 3 of a kind. Obviously,
it's a pair of 2s, barely.
yeah. With a total of an 8, it's probably what it is. It's like no, it's not even a pair of 2s. It's like 2 3s. It's 2 3s, just enough to be slightly higher than average by 0.01.
Yep. And then I'll mention that look over at Blaine and say congratulations. Dinner will be on me. And I look at the other two and go, I want a full rundown of operating cycles, all the buttons, all the whiz bangs by the end of the week.
I'm going to need you to repeat that because you started to break up a little bit and I lost a little bit of context there.
Okay, I'm going to look at the other two and just go, I want from the both of you to provide training to everyone else, the rifle, the name, the manufacturer, what it fires, all the buttons, all the things, how to load, how to clear a jam. All right? And I need it to be less than 30 minutes.
And it needs to be done today. Because you're training first thing in the morning.
Yeah, first thing in the morning. Yep.
There you go.
Oh, and by the way, and I look at IL, you're cleaning all of them.
No, Spearman, he's the one that failed.
Oh yeah, Spearman, yeah, Spearman, you're cleaning all of them.
All right. And so are you just taking Blaine out to dinner then?
Well, I'm going to take them all. I'm going to take them all out. But
Blaine just looks at you when you mentioned something about dinners on you. Blaine looks at you. She's like, Terran steak, Terran lobster. There's literally a blue lobster right down the road.
Oh my gosh!
right. Yeah, I'm like, oh man.
And she's got this big fucking grin on her face. Like she's partially fucking with you, but she's like, you know what? I really am having a hankering for some steak and lobster, and I need the imported shit from Earth. There's a blue lobster down the road. You're buying. You set this up. It's your fault. I'm gonna eat good tonight.
Oh yeah. Oh no. I'm willing to accept that, but it's all like, you know. Yeah. It's on me. You win. You're gonna win. I'm gonna with the other two, and like going. I'm not saying dollar menu, but
they get the kiddie menu.
Yeah, exactly.
They get fish sticks and French fries.
If you cross $20. We're going to have a conversation.
Or you can pay your own shit, because everybody got $1 million, so it's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
I doubt those two do anymore.
Well, yeah, no. I'm going to tell you right now, you could already imagine Aiello and Spearman's personal rooms in whatever facility you guys are in. They have probably bought all of the souvenirs they can get their hands on. And still have plenty of money left over.
It's a platinum I'm with stupid t-shirt.
It's not even platinum, it's that gold thread. It looks like it's gold, but it's thread. Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Alright, let me get back into my notes here. Alright, so we're gonna fast forward with Charles. And we're gonna fast forward to late January. And we can imagine, if you want, we're still out on the range. Maybe you went back out just for more familiarization training or something like that, because maybe eventually these knuckleheads figured it out. And
we're not going out every week or every day of the week, but we're like, okay, we got enough. We're not spending the $1 million out of that to buy ammo, but we're definitely
there's definitely a significant portion of your budget going to bullets.
Yes, exactly. And it's like, I want you guys to be able to at least shoot effectively with these, and not.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
And not know how to reload on the fly, and how to deal with all the usual malarkey of weapons familiarization. So it's like shoot, and fun times at the range.
Yep. I'm also going to boost each of those 3 rifle and pistol skills by 1. So they'll be at pistol 1, rifle 2. For the most part. Yeah, pistol 1, rifle 2.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys definitely spend a bunch of time out on the range, which is fine. Like that's kind of like, for being the direct action team, that's kind of like, that's where you need to be. You need to be spending a lot of your time there. And not all of it, because there's plenty of other things you guys need to be doing that, probably like first aid, land navigation, and some other military oriented tasks, but also like being part of the ship's crew, like knowing how cargo tie downs are supposed to be done for a variety of different situations, so that cargo is properly secured. You know.
Mm-hmm. And then with this being a new ship, there's the drones to learn how to load and release, and there's all that other fun stuff. And
yeah.
I don't think we have a vehicle this time. So
Just a motorcycle.
Well, that's your motorcycle. You're not letting them touch it, I imagine.
Yeah.
Although I did mention. Well, we'll talk about that later. Or at
Yeah. Still have Tankerson's motor pool.
Yeah. So we're gonna jump ahead several weeks here. It's now roughly the 25th of January in 2298. Happy New Year. Fritz, you guys are out on the range again one day randomly. Just doing some regular shooting drills. Nothing special. Nothing crazy. It's more about, at this point, it's more about familiarization through repetition. Because you know how it is as a shooter. You want to get that. You want to make it feel like it's a natural motion. There's no thought. It's not even reflex. It's just, this is the way it is. When this happens, I do this. When this happens, I do this. And while you're out there and you're leading your guys through, your link pings I've got a message tone.
All right. So I'll look at Blaine and say, okay, you know the drill. Go through it at whatever spot we're at. You know, whether it's simulated nighttime or simulated altered light condition. Blah blah blah.
It's almost always sunny on Beowulf. Not to be funny about TV shows.
Yeah. And then just look down at my link and kind of skim the message.
All right. It is a message from a name that you the player may not recognize right away, but is a name your character would recognize. It's a name you haven't seen in several months.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No. It is a message from a Teresa Eppenheimer captain, Flex, indicating that she needs to meet with you. She is suggesting a meetup point at a bar or restaurant in 2 days' time, when she's expected to be back on the surface of Beowulf again. The tone that you pick up from this message is pretty insistent that she needs to meet with you. Not in this is an emergency because it's scheduled for 2 days from now, but in the tone of like, it's imperative that we talk. There's a number of things we need to discuss.
Yeah, like it's not you, it's me type of conversation.
Basically. I mean, if you want to read that, sure.
So I'll send a note back saying sure. And recommend a couple places if she doesn't know one. And
she has one in particular. I didn't write down a name for some reason, but she's obviously. I guess it would be safe to say that if you wanted to suggest a separate or a different location, she would not be opposed to investigating it.
No. I mean, if she suggested one, then I'm on board with that. So I'll just say okay, and then I'll just say I'll just say, do we need to watch our backs?
You don't get a reply to that particular message for several hours, but eventually, somewhere around, again, on Beowulf, the sun is always up. Not literally, but it pretty much is. You get, at what would otherwise be the end of the day, you get a message back. This is more of an informative meeting than it is a heads-up meeting, but, I mean, and then there's this little, like, ... Milligan is running his mouth every now and again, so maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
And then there's like a winky face because she's trying to be funny.
Right. I'll say okay, no problem. And then I'll say meet you there. Won't bring friends, but maybe in the parking lot. And leave it like that. And then we'll I'll
Go ahead.
And I'll say I'll grab Blaine and just kind of high level, hey, we're gonna go out to another bar for some fun and some drinks, and I'm not saying bring some stuff, and I'll just run through the litany of that I'm meeting somebody from Flex, that who she is, and that we may not need help, but last time we met with somebody for drinks, remember how that happened. So let's be careful.
There was a straight up firefight the last time that happened.
Yeah, so let's just be careful. start reconnoitering this bar and grill to kind of figure out best places to if we need to.
I've got half of mine because I'm a smartass. I got half of mine to be like, she actually recommended the Blue Lobster that you guys were at the one night, but
right.
I feel like that might be a little overkill. It's basically it's a pretty popular, pretty well busy. Let's go with something like Red Robin, the Blue Robin.
Okay.
No, that sounds
ridiculous
at this point. But it's a pretty popular stop. It's got regular seating. It's got a couple of bar seats. It is far too busy to be a place where you might want to try to do some clandestine shit, or maybe it's just busy enough, depending on how you want to look at it. But as far as the potential for being attacked or ambushed or anything like that, I would imagine you'd probably get a feeling of, other than a generic level of paranoia, this is probably not the worst place to meet somebody.
Oh yeah, no, it's. I mean, so I'll just like, okay, this looks like it's gonna be safe, and using my, because I'll just do this.
Mm-hmm.
Using my security skills.
Sure.
I'll just kind of look it over real quick. So that's a 6.
It sounds like you probably landed
education. Right. It's an 8.
Yep, you landed right on an 8. Yeah, no, you get the feeling that if you want to do something, hiding in plain sight, this isn't a bad place. There's of course the one main entrance, and then there's a couple of service entrances to the back, like most restaurants that you would expect.
Right.
But half the building or half the one side is literally just a big ass window. So take that as you will, threat analysis wise. But yeah, if you would either definitely not try to do something silly here, or in the hide in plain sight sort of way, when in and amongst the crowd that might be there at any time. That might not be a bad place to pass off things, but it would not be a good place to ambush somebody.
So we'll end up. So I'll mention that to the rest of the crew and just say, okay, hey, we need to be ready for. I don't want to say be ready for anything, but I don't think there's gonna be a big risk here. But let's go ahead and be prepared, and from there, just agree to meeting her at whatever time and date she recommended. And I may bring it up to Milligan and Wyatt too, that we have these people from Flex wanting to contact us, and I'll look hard at Milligan. And
what does the scene look like? I would love it if you guys role played this scene for a moment. What does this conversation look like? What gets said? How do you guys respond?
So I want to say my notes are kind of hazy about this, but isn't she the I want to say defense lawyer, for lack of a better descriptor, that we had?
So Teresa Eppenheimer, she is a captain. She is the operations officer for the French Armed Squadron of the Flex, which you may or may not recall, but Flex has 3 operating squadrons of ships. One is the it's 1 squadron per arm, and that's like the almost half of Flex by itself, is those 3 squadrons. The other half tends to be a lot of people that go out and collect money, find money, source money, fund it to keep Flex in operation outside of the money that the squadrons generate. The squadrons, of course, are the 6 ships, and then all the variety of different stations and ground ports and whatnot, the personnel there. So she was the operations officer for the admiral who ran the French, or she is the operations officer for the French Armed Squadron, and she reports effectively directly to Admiral What's-His-Face, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head.
Okay.
The lawyer that you're talking about was, I want to say, a lieutenant commander, who was, as far as he told you guys, he was effectively the judge advocate. Effectively, he would be the JAG for the staff. The staff JAG, effectively, is what he told you guys. Hello, Kane. Okay. Thank you for joining us. Your test is complete and appears to be successful.
So at that point, I'll after checking this bar and grill out, I'll mention to the other 2, Wyatt and Milligan, that I've been contacted by this operations officer from the French Armed Flex, and that they want to meet with us or meet with me about what I don't know. And I'm just gonna. And as I'm saying that, I'm assuming I'm at our safe house or station house or working house, whatever it is.
Hostel.
Yeah, you guys had
Yeah,
like a
our hostel.
dormitory or something set up. Like he
Yeah.
definitely gave you guys. In fact, he may have given you. I don't remember now. He may have given you a portion of his own private estate, like his. I don't want to say mansion, but like he's got, substantial home and property that he stays at, and then of course he's got his own private offices and stuff like that.
Right.
But you guys definitely have your own secure compound, for lack of a better thing to call it. Decent
Right, so-
accommodations and all that.
So end up, over dinner or over some snacks in the
Frozen
kitchen.
burritos.
Yeah, no, something better than that. But I'll
I'm just picturing that one scene.
oh yeah.
Sorry,
Anyhow,
go ahead.
looking at especially at Milligan and just go, yeah, I know it's Flex, but they want to meet with us, or she wants to meet with us. She might have some information of detail, something of interest. Even after you've painted a big old freaking target on us, and I'm gonna air quote me, and after I long E that, point my fingers all the way around everyone in this building, and then just say, we're gonna have a conversation, and I'll bring back the notes. She wants to just talk with me, but I'm gonna bring the Blaine and my my other two knuckleheads just in case something needs to happen. So
You're gonna leave him in the car with the windows cracked?
yeah, with the windows cracked, the radio on, and some water.
So as soon as he says he's going to meet with Flex, my left eyebrow goes up like Spock, I'm like, say what? And I say, go ahead, go listen, see what she has to say. But before it's all said and done, make sure she realizes I'm not finished. This downtime that we have is the perfect time for me to now contact law enforcement with the evidence that I have. If they want us to do something for them, they are going to have to make their past transgressions right.
All right. I don't know if we're even going to do anything with him. I think she just wants to chat, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I doubt this is about having drinks.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I look at it. I look at Milligan kind of straight on and go, I know I came from a slightly backwards colony, but I'm not as dumb as IAO looks. Okay. All right.
And I never insinuated you were.
Aiello's in the background. He's like pushing a broom or something. He's just like, oh man.
And I'll look back at him and just kind of do the heart symbol to him and just and tap my chest.
He starts pushing the little push broom a little bit faster.
So I'll let him know. I'll let him know that if he wants me around, visible or not visible, just let me know.
I don't think I'll need to, but leave it to you like this. And I'll just kind of write the meeting up on the 2300 version of the calendar or whatever it is.
The dry
on the
erase
wall.
board.
Yeah, the dry erase board. Yeah.
So are my robots ready yet? As far as that January date
in
goes?
January, let's see. January would have been right about the end of the 6-month stretch from when you guys were last on Grendel, so probably.
Okay. I'll also volunteer to send one of those with him if you'd like.
No.
No, keep the creepy electro dude away.
Yeah.
What about the cat? The cat is so cute.
It's a robot. It's just like I'm just shut up. I'm gonna shut up. I got to take the trash out.
I'm gonna look at Milligan and just go, yes, it's a cat with creepy red eyes, and I hear a clanky 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 going through the space as it kind of meanders. No.
Oh.
But if
The
you're
cat,
walking,
the cat suddenly appears around the corner, and just looks at you. And it doesn't have emotions because it's a robot and it's a cat. It just looks at you, but it's almost as if it's to say, "Oh, robot cat, sad." Sad robot cat noises as it walks away.
I'm
Well,
gonna
the
just
cat
look at.
stands up and starts walking away, and he doesn't make much noise at all because he has advanced camo audible.
Oh God! And I'm just gonna look. I'm gonna look at the cat and go, not natural. No.
And he just like opens the end of his tail and closes it again.
Period. And yeah, so and at that point, I'm just gonna like grab a beer and go off into whatever and just relax, pondering what I'm gonna do next.
Basically, go fuck off for the night.
Yeah.
All right. We're gonna travel back in time again. We're gonna flash back to October 10th, 2297. Wheels. George Wyatt.
What?
Yeah, it's George Wyatt's turn.
What's happening? Who are you?
You know who I am, damn it. Outside the city of Aliceport, near some unremarkable dirt hills and some pretty light forested area, there is a private compound. Wooden fences standing roughly 8 feet tall picket the perimeter of this compound, and there's a gate on the north side of this wall as the only way in and out. There's a fairly well-made and maintained road that leads up to the gate. Of course, ultimately, it leads back into Aliceport, which, of course, is the prime city for the Beowulf planet, for effectively the British colony. And this is probably about a 30 to 45-minute drive one way between Aliceport and this place. This club, or this area, rather, is maintained by a small club called the Dirt Eaters Club, although they are somewhat exclusive. Wyatt heard about this group of people one night while out on a date night with his wife. It is a club called the Dirt Eaters Club, and they are dirt bike enthusiasts. And for a not small but not overly encumbering monthly fee, you are allowed to come out to this compound whenever you want and ride your dirt bike all over these trails.
It's a yacht club for dirt bike people?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a chance for you to actually ride your dirt bike for the first real time in the entire season or campaign since you bought the damn thing. I'm sure we've always implied it may have been ridden once or twice off screen, but now you get some time to actually do this.
Yeah, no.
It's dragging that bait.
No, Wyatt will definitely partake of the dirt biking that he can.
Yeah, I imagine.
He'll try to do some networking while he's there, try to hobnob with hobnobbers.
Yeah. There's actually a handful of people that are pretty regular, and there's a handful of people that, you've only seen them once or twice, and it runs the gamut. There's people that there's one or two guys that are there basically every single time you show up, and you get the feeling that they work there or they're like, I'm not trying to say this is a motorcycle club or anything, but like maybe senior members of the club. There's one guy in particular, his name is Jeff. He is actually a local construction worker in Aliceport. But he is out there almost literally every single time you're out there. He managed to either be showing up, to be just getting ready to leave. Jeff Montalban is the name. He's just out there. He's got a pretty sick ride, too. Like, his bike's got, like, some super tricked out shocks, and he can actually get a couple extra meters at height in his jumps. So he can do more tricks, more spinny spins when he's jumping around. He actually helped you get your bike set up for a little bit more rugged off-roading type stuff.
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you very much for that.
Yeah. So how you been there, George?
Doing better now since I got this assistive exoskeleton to help me on the high G worlds.
Yeah, and it doesn't look overly encumbering or anything. Like, it doesn't, like... I mean, it stands out a little bit because you got this metal frame around you, but, and he chuckles a little bit. But it looks like it's helping you.
I don't feel like I constantly need to pee, so that's nice.
I'm sorry, I need a second. Because as soon as you said that, I was like, that actually makes a lot of sense. Wow, your bladder must have been heavy as fuck if you grow up low G and you're stuck on a regular G planet. Oh my god. All right, let me focus back
That's
here.
what I do. I bring the humanization, humanizing.
Yeah, you
the
make it
sci-fi.
real. You make it real and personable.
Let's not even talk about what would happen if you had diarrhea.
Oh, yo, God, Jesus, man! I was trying to stay away from that. As soon as I said bladder, I was like, there's something else that sits really close to the bladder.
The exoskeleton doesn't do anything for that particular muscle knot.
No, probably not. But I'm sure it helps alleviate some of the tension in the weight of it all, the gravitas. But yeah, so Jeff is like, yeah, man, you're looking good out there. You want to race?
Yeah, sure. Why
Yeah.
not? Yeah, $100.
$100? Shit, I'll let you do 3 laps.
Oh,
And when he says laps, just so you know, this is like, it's like a 5 to 10 minute ride each lap. So this is going to take you probably like, 15, 20 minutes to complete. But it's a pretty long, and it's pretty bumpy. There's a couple of good jumps. You cross the river, not a river, you cross a creek a couple of times. There's another low point where you go right through a massive mud puddle that never empties. It's a pretty big deal.
Now, part of my club dues make sure that the mud puddle doesn't empty. They import mud.
You get mud, water, sometimes just a little bit of dry dirt. Getting an itch, that is.
They have a mud expert to come out there and make sure the right viscosity.
the right viscosity of mud. All right, give me some drive rolls, man.
All right.
I'm gonna have a flat +1, but you go ahead and add your drive and add either Dex or let me think a second. I'll let you throw education in there because it's a learned skill on how to operate
You're
a
a
motorcycle.
learned skill.
You're a learned skill.
You're a learned skill.
I just hope we don't lose our captain here.
Ooh.
Oh.
All right, so what do you got? 3 plus what?
5.
You got a total of a 5 on the first lap? Okay.
Yeah.
You probably didn't die.
All right, well, I ended up with an 8 on the first lap. So obviously Jeff gets the first lap because you bite it hard. There's a turn that you knew this turn was coming. You've run this turn. You've run all these trails and all these laps and all these courses, probably a half dozen times at least. But there was one turn that you thought you knew, but instead of juking, it is a hard juke, and you mistimed it. And you just basically slide right off the road, right into some bush. It doesn't take you long. You don't get scraped up or anything, but it's definitely, Jeff definitely looks back at you, and he does this, like, he lets go of the handlebars, he turns his upper body back at you, and snaps the finger guns at you as he sees you fall off the road, and as he keeps on going. I see you did roll a 9. What do you got? A +2 total DM on that?
So that's 11.
11? All right, let's see what we got here. 9 for me, or excuse me, 8 for me. So yeah, you definitely feel a sting of pride when you go down, but you recover, and over the course of the next lap, you manage to squeeze by him right at the end of the second lap. You are in the lead, sir, and there is some good-natured tomfoolery shit talking going back and forth at this point, I imagine. Go ahead and make your third.
No, we're not doing too serious.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of coming out here, is to have fun.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make your third roll for me. All right, total of 7. And I smoke it with an 11. Yeah, so that shit talking, it actually gets a little under your skin. I don't know what he says, maybe you can figure that out. But I think he says something that just, it breaks your concentration for this final lap, and he manages to pull ahead and stay ahead. Probably a good 10, 15 seconds ahead of you at the finish line. But as he pulls in, he does the stereotypical burnout, spewing dirt and mud and shit everywhere as he whips the bike around in 180 degrees to watch you come across. And, there's no animosity when he sees that it beat you. In fact, there's almost a little like, oh man, I really thought you were going to get me. I don't know what happened there.
you know, I mean, like, you did soup up your bike, and you've run this course more than I have. You know, you just got more hours on this thing than I do.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. Well, you know what, Georgie? Maybe next time you get me.
Yeah, no, and I pull out my billfold and I don't do that because we don't use physical cash. And...
You give him a plastic coin with a barter, with a dog's, what looks like a man-sized dog head on the face of it. No, that's the wrong traveler. Yeah, no, Georgie takes your money. Or excuse me, Jeff takes your money, and then he's like, "Hey, tell you what, double or nothing. Let's go again."
Yeah, all right. You know what? Yeah, gonna give a call to my wife real quick. Just tell her it's gonna be a little bit longer, but yeah, let's go.
All right. So we're not gonna roll this one. This is what happens. The camera follows you two as you make a fourth lap, and there's one point in the route where you have to like jump over the river, and as your bike, we get the shot of George Wyatt leaning in, and we see his wrist just pulling back on the throttle, trying to get every last bit of boost he can get. So he hits this jump, gets some good air on it, gets some good hang time. And right at the top of the arc of the jump, the screen freezes. The image freezes for a moment. And at the bottom left, the date appears. And it goes from 10th October to 25th January. So that when time unfreezes, we are now a couple months later. It's now January 25th. Wyatt lands the jump. It's not a race anymore. It's just you. You've been out riding around for the last half hour, 45 minutes, just ripping through shit, having fun. And you're pulling up towards the garage now, where a lot of the riders will congregate, between runs or what have you. There's a couple of, Jeff is over there. He'll flash you his little smirk and the finger guns again. Be like, hey, good run, all good. All right,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, no, great time, yeah.
Yeah, and then as you're working your way over towards wherever you've got your vehicle, because I imagine George would probably drive out here with his dirt bike on a tow bed or something like that, or maybe he would ride it out here, whatever the case might be. You actually receive 2 messages on your link.
All right. Well, what's the first message?
Well, the first one is from Alicia, and she says, "Hey, you coming home anytime soon? I could use some help getting dinner ready."
Yeah, no, I'll. Yeah, no. I just had to do one more last thing. I'm leaving now. I'll ping you on my map so you know when I'm coming home.
Okay, and she sends you a heart and a smiley face. Say, "All right, I'll see you when you get here. Love you."
Yeah, love you too.
All right, the second message. It is from. All it shows is the text message literally says this. It says R dot, so it's like R is the first initial of their first name. Hartman, Vogelheim, requesting assistance.
One more time?
R dot Hartman, Vogelheim, requesting assistance.
Okay, we haven't played in it forever. I don't remember any of that stuff.
That's totally fair. Roland Hartman is a former Wayfinder crew member who had gone AWOL when the ship made port prior to you guys coming aboard. So basically, the Wayfinder was out on.
Is this the guy that we hustled in the hotel room?
Yeah, the one that you thought maybe was going to hustle you, but you turned around and hustled him, and then there was some video that was transferred back and forth.
I actually had stuff planned to do with him today for this session, so I just forgot his name, but I remember that guy existed.
Yeah, well, he's probably sending you this message kind of surreptitiously because he doesn't really know what exactly might be going on for you because it's been a few months or more since he last talked to you. But yeah, so he sent you that message, and that is pretty much it, unless you want to send him a message back.
So on my way home, I'll drop by like a big box store, and I'll buy a disposable phone. Well, not a disposable phone, but like a prepaid minute phone.
Yeah, we'll call it. We could just call it a burner. We know where you're going with this. Yeah.
I go to the burner section and get a little cheap phone and then when I'm about to call him, I will turn off my phone which will probably annoy my wife since I just pinged her on the map where I am. And
she's gonna
I'll
watch
remove...
your heart figure that she has assigned, the token that she has assigned for you will disappear, and she'll be like, that son of a bitch.
And I'll turn off, and I'll do the equivalent of whatever the 23rd century version of removing the SIM card is.
Mm-hmm. It's probably something similar. Some things
Yeah.
don't advance very far once you've figured out the secret. It's just a matter of, miniaturization and then rapid reproduction. Okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, so I will then call him. I'll then respond back on this burner phone, and I'll respond to him that 3 guys in a hotel is what I'll use as my signature.
Mm-hmm.
Since that was the probably the one more memorable event of our meeting.
Yes, and he'll send back a message, and it said, I'm trying to think for a second, because I'm pretty sure he didn't actually get the other 2's name. He would have gotten your name as George Wyatt, obviously, because otherwise he wouldn't have been able to contact you most likely. But the other 2, I don't think you guys actually.
I was in the bathroom the whole time.
Yeah. Actually, I was just thinking about that. He texts back. This is all he says. He texts back. He says, one of them was in the bathroom and took my gun apart.
Yeah, no, that of course that happened. I mean, like, you're just some random dude.
We got them all the pieces back.
Oh yeah, you did. Like that, like he's trying to use it as like a countersign so he can validate, who he is, who he says he is. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. What can? Is this a real-time conversation?
Oh, I mean, you're texting, yeah.
Right, but I'm not waiting hours and days for him to reply.
No, he's responding probably like, within a couple minutes. It's not rapid or immediate, but within a few minutes.
Okay, so he's on planet.
Yes.
Okay, and they go, yeah, sure. What can I do for you? You're actually just on my mind recently, believe it or not.
I think for a brief second the camera cuts to this dude sitting in a very small hotel room. He's just like, fuck.
What the?
And then you see him texting back, and then in his message he says, "Want to reconnect since last time we encountered each other? Maybe some more information than what I had before. Maybe you guys have more information. ...
Yeah, sure, totally, we could do that. Yeah. Tell you what, we'll meet. I'll give him the address of a shitty hotel that's isolated with poor response time from cops.
And he comes back with a different address.
And we'll meet in the lobby.
He comes back with the like pins for like iPhones and shit like that, right? He comes back with a pin for a Blue Robin restaurant in the middle of town where there is significant amounts of foot and vehicle traffic nearby.
Yeah, sure, okay, that's fine. That's agreeable.
I love how everything red in the real world is getting a blue cast. Okay, so you're gonna set up a meet with Hartman?
Yeah, that's agreeable. Yeah, 100%. And then when I'm done with that conversation, I will turn off that phone. I will remove the SIM card, and I'll turn back on. And then I'll drive, I don't know, 5 or 10 kilometers until I feel like I would hit another cell phone tower and turn back on my phone.
Yeah, you immediately get like half a dozen texts and a missed call or two from your wife. Like, where did you go? I was watching you. I got bored.
Yeah.
Food's in the oven. I got bored. Where did you go?
A karaoke event happened, and someone reached out to me, and I was just being extra cautious about it.
Her text is the word karaoke in quotes, and then facepalm emoji, and that's it. She doesn't say shit else until you get home.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's going to be a conversation, but there's not a lot I can say no to about that situation. So
I love how you're just like, yep, that's going to be a conversation. Fuck it, I must just right into the dragon's lair. Here we go.
Yeah, no, I get her concerns, but it's not. I'm not in a position where I can say no. Really,
No, you're right. Yeah, that's the flip side. It was like, what can you do? You've already done it. You might as well just fess up to it and deal with it, meet it head on. Because what else can you do? All right.
plus I've never really tried to keep any of this secret
Right,
from her
yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why you got a facepalm instead of a "you motherfucker, you're cheating on me."
No, of course not.
Okay. All right. A few days go by. It is now the 15th of October. Milligan, throughout this entire process, with extracting the Durandal from the surface of Grendel, you've pretty much stayed on Beowulf, though, correct?
I'm sorry. You talking to me?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I'm pretty much sticking. Yeah.
I feel
I'm
like.
I'm
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm on Beowulf. I thought about going to Aurora if we had enough time, but I'm waiting for my robots and everything. So I am considering on turning over all the evidence we have about our incarceration and illegal incarceration and everything to the police and letting them start their process with that. But after getting a message from Hellwig, I'm going to kind of hold off on that for now.
Well, okay, so just as a matter, because I realize
I
I'm doing
haven't
some
gotten it yet,
timey-wimey
have I?
shit
Yeah.
here. It's October. The conversation about Oppenheimer meeting with you doesn't take place until January. So you could try to arrange for a couple of sit-downs with local law enforcement. I will tell you this, though. The impression that they give, the impression you get from them, the various agents that you interact with, is they're professional and courteous, and they will definitely, take notes and accept whatever you give them. But you will also be getting the impression that, for the most part, it's not that they don't believe you, it's just they don't believe much is going to come out of this. Not from it's flex. They're not as bad as you make them out to be. That's their personal opinion, and it's being conveyed, subconsciously through their actions and whatnot. But they just don't feel like the flex is all that bad as you're making them out to be. But also, they're professional and courteous enough to record everything you're giving them. And maybe there's some credence or truth, whatnot, to what you're saying, but it's not enough at this point to convince them to change their minds. Does that make sense?
It does, but I say consider this. A troop of Boy Scouts goes out and takes a bus full of people hostage. They're Boy Scouts. They're good kids, and they take them off somewhere and hold them against their will for 3 weeks. At the end of that, is it, oh, they were just good boys? They're okay? No harm, no foul? Or did they commit a crime?
Well, Mr. Milligan, I will tell you this, and this is obviously, agent number 1 that you're talking to. Maybe he's a sergeant or something in the local law enforcement. We will definitely look into this. It does sound, I will be honest with you, regardless of all the various angles at play here, it does indeed sound like there was some, we'll say, legal shenanigans taking place. I am obviously not a lawyer. I'm not a legal expert outside of the field of, enforcing law here. There's definitely something, maybe you can get a class action going. I don't know. But I will definitely pass this up to my supervisor to make sure that due process is executed here.
Okay. And
I just can't promise any, yeah, I think on one hand, like, the unspoken part is like he can't promise anything because this seems really odd scenario that you're presenting him. But also, it's quasi-corporate bullshit. Who knows what can happen?
Right.
On that note, generally speaking, you've pretty much stayed on Beowulf. Like, I've indicated basically that in the middle of October is when the ship is extricated from the surface of Grendel. It probably spends a day or two or maybe a week or so in orbit before it's fully ready to make the transition back to Beowulf, where it can actually go into an actual slip to be given, like, hardcore refit and repair process.
So I'll spend some of my time traveling up to the station and back. I guess on the company dime.
Oh, where the
shipyard.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not quite there yet because at this point right now is about the time when it would still be floating around Grendel before it comes back. You have in your maybe one morning before you're heading off to do whatever it is you're about to do for the day, there's a knock at your front door. Whatever your front door may be, whether it's a dorm room or the main entrance to the dormitory or what have you, there is a knock at your front door.
Okay. I'd say, who is it?
Give me a second. I gotta think of a name that's not Federal Express. Interstellar Courier.
And they're actually in our dorm? Or whatever? Or in our
whichever.
facilities?
Like, I guess maybe not necessarily in the dorm, but definitely, like, you either someone's knocking on your door, you get a notice, there's somebody waiting for you. There's this kid, he's probably like 25 at most, with, there's a vehicle nearby with the engine running. It's very clearly marked Interstellar Courier, and he's got a package, and he's got some handheld electronic device, and he's waiting for you.
Okay. I'm like curious.
Hey, how you doing?
Somebody.
Can I get you to sign this for me? And he hands the device over to you with a stylus. Because apparently in 2300 we still have stylus operated devices.
So I look at it. What's on the screen?
It's just looking for your name and showing that you have received a package addressed to you. And the package that you can see the guy carrying is a small cube-sized package that fits just barely inside the palm of his hand.
Okay. I see if it'll scroll.
No, it doesn't scroll. It's literally like, please sign, just indicate that you've received the package. Yeah. I sign it. Yep.
Yep. So it's a hand grenade sized.
Basically, yeah, if you want to look at it that way. And the kid just looks at he taps the screen a couple of times and hands you the package. Says, "All right, sir, have a good one." And he doesn't run, but he's definitely moving at a pretty decent clip. He gives you the feel that he's got 77 other stops to do today.
Right. So, or he's just trying to get out of the blast radius.
Or maybe he's just trying to get his job done. Why is everybody got to kill you, man?
Everybody's been trying to kill me. What are you talking about?
If you stop putting cross, God damn it, bullseyes on the back of everything, you wouldn't have this problem. Anyway, yeah. So you're standing there with this package, and it's just a small package. It's roughly cubic shaped. Sits almost in the palm of one hand. There's obviously a shipping label. The address is some random ass place somewhere else. It doesn't really indicate a whole hell of a lot. But it's also very, very clearly addressed to James Milligan on Beowulf.
Is it heavy, light?
It's not terribly
heavy. Okay, I'll open it.
Okay. Inside the box is a watch.
Oh, that fucker. Sorry.
No, that's exactly what it is. It's the exact watch that you gave Jason Briggs months and months ago.
Okay. Is there any kind of note with it?
Oh yeah, there's a small handwritten note tucked inside the watch band.
Is it an 8, an equal sign, and a D?
I'm not even sure. Oh, a dick? I had to visualize what you said. It just took a little longer. No, there's a handwritten note folded inside the watch band. Would you like to read it?
Yes, I would.
It says, and I quote, "Count your seconds, for time runs out for us all, and yours are diminishing more swiftly. J.A.B."
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll take a picture of that and forward it on to everybody. I will drop the watch on the floor and step on it.
Okay.
Just to make sure. I'm going to try to completely destroy it, and then I'll dispose of it on top of that. So I want to make sure it's not bugged or who knows what.
Do me a favor.
Yeah.
It's not different zip code rule. It's different solar system rule. I need you to roll a... Let me think about this for a second. Roll recon education. I'm gonna warn you. I'm gonna put the difficulty at a 10 for this.
Okay, hang on just one sec. I need to grab. Where's my sheet go? Because I think when I made my brand new sheet, I left my recon skill off of there because I know I have recon, and it's not on.
Yeah, recon 1 on the sheet that I have.
I think so.
Mid December.
Yeah.
So recon 1 and your education is an 8. So that
That's a
believe
zero.
0. Yeah, so +1. Okay.
No, that sucks.
Yeah, when you crush this fucker up under the heel of your boot, probably with a snarl, be like, motherfucker, crunch.
Yep.
You get the pretty safe satisfaction that whatever was in this watch, that, you know, other than the watch itself, there is nothing left. You pretty much crunch it up pretty good. It is definitely a crushed and shattered watch. There's pieces. Aiello's walking around with a broom again, and he just looks over and he's like, God damn it, what did you do? And then starts moving directly to sweep up the mess that you just made.
So I tell him, oh, that was a present from Briggs.
That fucking guy, what? All right, whatever. I'll clean it up. I gotta get to the range. Just stop making messes, Milligan.
I will. I said, just take this.
I don't know if he would call you Milligan, actually. I think he would call you Jim. And not realize that maybe...
Wait, wait a minute.
Or Joseph, I'm sorry, Joe. He would call you Joe.
No, that would make better sense than it goes to Jim. Because it's C. Milligan that...
that'd be Spearman that would call him Jim.
Yeah.
Like,
without recognizing him.
Yeah.
So I do ask him to take that particular trash with him to the range and throw it away there.
Just looks at you like, what? Whatever. You guys are weird.
Yeah.
I think that's his coping mechanism, by the way. He's like, you guys are fucking weird.
Just trying to keep everybody alive.
If keeping everybody alive, if I have to take this shit to the range trash can to keep everybody alive, y'all are fucking weird. And he just scoops everything up, and he's just humming to himself. He's just minding his own business. He's like, this is
I'll
fucking
just hand him.
stupid.
I'll hand him the note.
And he looks at the note.
And let him read it.
Seconds. Yep. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The date changes again. It is now once more January 25th, 2298. Milligan, you probably, maybe you're skimming through some tech readout on how to assemble a Robo-Kitty, or maybe you're looking up some new robot parts for your slowly building empire of robots. I don't know what you do with your off time, but you get a notice on your link that you have a new email.
I'll take a look.
You have received an email from Jillian Hobbs.
All right.
And for those that don't know, that is a Rebco-SAR field agent supervisor that Milligan had worked with in the past and actually had met with on his way out from Earth, or excuse me, from Alpha Centauri, months and months and months ago. And the gist of this email that she sent you is, let me skim through this real quick. When last seen, she was on Nibelungen on her way to Earth to pick up some new Rebco recruits to be brought out to Aurora. In the interim, she has made it back to Arcturus. No, I'm skipping my lines here. Hold on. She has made it back out to Aurora, but the main reason for her message is twofold. One, previously, she had mentioned that Arcturus had gone dark, and while that was true at that time, it was nothing. It ended up being a temporary glitch in the communication software that was later resolved. This time, however, it's been literal weeks, if not 2 months, since anyone's heard anything from the system or its observation station, and nobody knows why. Keep in mind, it is now January 2298, and Station Arctur has once again gone dark, and it's been about 2 months since it went dark.
Okay.
Hobbs first thought it was the Empire of Mankind pulling one of their bullshit stunts again, and to that end, she's reaching out to Milligan to find out what he might know. The second, perhaps even more disturbing for her, as she notes in her email, is the fact that she has not been able to track down or get a hold of Charles Pendergast, another mutual colleague from Rebco-SAR, who at last word had been let go as part of a corporate resizing thing. Corporate realignment, I guess, was probably the more technical term. And he had gone to join some mercenary outfit on Aurora. She's been back on Aurora for at least a few weeks by the time she sent that message, which was probably about a month or so ago. And she knows that he had signed up with a Merc outfit based around Tanstafel. I'm not even sure if I'm saying it right, but you know what I'm trying to say. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. But she hasn't been able to get anywhere. The TFL isn't telling her anything. That's the Tanstafal Free Legion, I think, is the correct name. They're not telling her anything. None of her own sources can get hide or hair of him, and she's really starting to get worried. She closes the letter with a, "Sorry for all the bad news. I hope all is going well with you. Heard about the Durandal escapades you and your friends got up to. Good for you." And then she promises to keep him up to date if she hears more about Pendergast or Arctura.
So I'll respond back to that email. I'll actually send her a copy of that letter that Briggs sent me, and I will let her know what the initials at the bottom stand for.
Yeah, JEB is Jason A.
Yes.
Briggs, just in case anybody
Yep.
didn't get it.
Yep. And I'll ask her, I'm like, did he disappear as part of a mission, or did he just disappear?
Give me half a second. I'm just updating my notes.
Okay.
Did Pendergast disappear as part of a mission? Is that what you said?
Yep.
Or just generic disappearing? What else?
I ask her if she wants me to, if Rebco SAR is willing to hire outside field agents to help her locate him. Not that I'm guaranteeing that we can do that, but just as an information kind of thing.
Let me finish this thought. Let me see. All right, so what I wrote down, I want to just make sure it matches what you're trying to say. If Rebco SAR is willing to hire outside help, are you willing to take us on, if we can, to help find Pendergast?
Right. Okay. Yep.
Anything else?
Remember,
I
give her my parents' names, you know, and ask her if she'd check in, on them, and let them know that she's a friend of mine, and maybe they can help her out or help take care of her or whatever while she's there. And as soon as I'm done with that email, I'll message my parents and relay that information to them.
Okay, and keep in mind the other main reason why she reached out to you too is to see if maybe you had heard anything about the Empire Mankind operations out towards Arcturus or that far out on the arm.
Oh, I don't have any specific knowledge of locations of their operations, but the letter I sent her was definitely, to show her that there's still some animosity there for whatever reason. He tried to kill us, he failed. We haven't really affected them in any other way. So why he thinks he needs to kill us, I don't know, but maybe it's just because he's number one on my list.
No, maybe you're number one on his list.
Oh, that's fine. We're number one on each other's list, and
it's
that's
a mutual
great place
hatred.
to be. That's right. I didn't do anything for him to hate me. I mean,
you just
other than save the save the ship,
other than have a press conference.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they're doing all sorts of stuff that's getting in the news anyway.
Yeah. All right. Anything else regarding those that email or the watch that you destroyed?
I'll also add that if they want to hire us to investigate Arcturus, I can investigate that as well. And I ask her, are there any plans? Is anybody going out? Has anybody been out there? Is anybody going out there to see what's going on? Because that's y'all's back door. That is one jump away from Aurora.
Yeah. Give me a. Let me see. What do you got on your skill sheet that might? Oops.
Skills.
I'm sorry.
Skills.
Yeah,
Diplomat.
I'm looking for skill that maybe like
Streetwise, stealth, recon.
Yeah, those won't help for what I'm thinking. Like maybe if you could do like a local Google search, see if anything else might turn up.
Electronic computers.
It's a stretch. Because I'm thinking something like recon or
Streetwise.
Actually, streetwise, yeah. If you want to spend a day or two talking to various people on the road or on the streets. Oh, you have diplomat. You could actually
I have diplomat.
Theoretically, you could try running some sort of diplomatic angle with maybe some of your quasi-military contacts to see if they know anything about what's going on out around Arcturus.
Okay, I can shoot messages off to William Walker, the chief petty officer at the Naval British Shipyard, and I can shoot something off to Jonathan Frakes. Granted, he probably won't tell me. He probably won't tell me anything.
Yeah. But I
But it
will
will
allow.
clue
Go
him
ahead
into
and
the fact
go ahead and
that
make.
people are
God
talking.
damn it. I'm sorry. What?
I said it will clue him into the fact that, I mean, this is getting out to civilians at this point, that
Yeah.
Arcturus is dark. So
Make me a diplomat.
Yeah.
Diplomat. Social.
Oh, suck.
Oh yeah, you get nothing.
That is a 2.
Yep, you get nothing, sir. You get a 3 total. Stormbender Investigate would work, but he doesn't have any ranks in it, which would have automatically incurred a -3 right off the bat.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not entirely sure where the direction I was headed. Investigate probably would have been the closest, because I could have genericified it enough. Yeah, so you reach out and you try to talk to various people on the street, get a feel for what the common person is thinking in regards of Arcturus. Maybe you spend a couple hours sifting through news channels and the link, but the end state you end up with after a day or two is that outside of Hobbs saying something to you, there is no mention about Arcturus. In fact, the only thing that is mentioned about Station Arctur is the last time it went dark, but that it was later revealed to be just a faulty commo software package.
Okay. So if I meet up with Hellwig anytime soon, he's our investigator.
Yeah.
I will pass that off to him and see
Absolutely.
what he can
You
find.
guys can.
Yep.
If you haven't noticed, I've been trying to encourage more interplay between the player characters. So by all means, if you want to take a scene, take a scene.
Yep. Hey, Hellwig.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Listen, you guys should know by now, I'm so easily amused. Hey, Hellwig, that's the code for I want a scene with Hellwig. Hey, Hellwig, you got a second?
So I explained to him about the whole Arcturus going dark thing, that the first time it was actually equipment failure, but now it's gone dark and it's been dark for a long time. I said, I've messaged them back to see if anything's being done about it. That's one jump away from Aurora, which is my home world. So it makes me nervous when major things like that happen. I don't know if this is more of the Empire Mankind stuff or what. And I went out and hit the streets and tried to find information and came up with goose eggs. So I was wondering if you could spend a little time and see what you could find out about any activity, current activity on Arcturus or about Arcturus.
About Arcturus.
Yep.
Alrighty then. So, and I'm just gonna run through a litany of like, did you ask about this? Did you talk to these people? Questions, and I'm gonna go after basically finding out that that Milligan just sucked hard asking questions. It's like
he doesn't know, like So I think based on the die roll and the fact that he doesn't have investigation at all, I think it becomes prevalent to Hellwig, or evident to Hellwig, I should say, that his method of questioning is non-existent. He doesn't know how to, short of already having a deep rapport with somebody, i.e., someone he knows rather well, he does not know how to start the chain of questions that can lead to the answers he needs to find.
Right. So I'll turn around and go, okay, you can tag along and watch. I'm not saying I'm an expert.
The master.
I'm not saying I'm the master.
Thank you.
I'm just saying I may or may not have had a book out, and
I may or may not have written a whole ass book.
Right.
I'm like, this is definitely your wheelhouse, not mine.
Yeah,
I will admit to that.
So I'll first off I'll go off to the embassy, and because I think Aurora's in the
Edibuda system.
Yeah, but
Aurora is. I'm sorry. Keep going. I'm gonna ping it on the map.
I'm trying to think. Is it in the French arm or is it? Okay,
Yes.
So it is in the French arm. Okay, so I'm just gonna swing by the embassy and just say, hey, we have a problem. We're we're just trying to figure out because mail's coming back undelivered. Blah blah blah. And is there anything official you can kind of tell me? And going up to some aide inside the embassy who, after asking through and figuring through the press 0 if you'd like to be talked to in French.
All right, you don't have diplomat, but you do have investigate 2.
Yep.
So
I'm
I'm gonna throw social on this one, but unfortunately you have no mod for that. So it's gonna be a total of +2, 8+, and you might get something to work.
All right.
Golly. You get the French diplomat, or well, whatever embassy that you're at. I would imagine maybe it's probably for the French because you're on British soil.
Right.
You do get the embassy result of all the official answers that mean nothing and get you nowhere.
Right. Go away, I fought in your general direction type
Yes,
of thing.
but very politely. Very, very politely and courteous, and also, I'm better than you because we're French.
Yes. Right. So I'll turn around and go, I kind of knew that was a dead end, and I'll look around.
I'm going to totally play that off as I knew I was going to fail that. That's why I did it.
Right. And I'm going to kind of look at the, look around, and I'm sure there's a bar near the spaceport that has all the international travel coming through, and I'm gonna kind of slide in there and kind of just ask some questions. Find a captain. I'll go up to the barkeep and ask if there's anybody who's recently come from the Aurora area or from the
far end of the French arm.
Yeah, far end of the French arm.
All right, go ahead and make me a social roll. Just a 2d6.
Okay.
No mods because social is nothing.
Yep.
You are striking out. So as it turns out, when you talk to this bartender, he actually looks at you and he sticks a finger up and he does this. He's like, "Hold, wait, hold on a minute." And he pulls up an electronic device and you see him swiping through it several times, like he's turning several pages in a book almost. Charles Hellwig, you have a 2,487 Libra tab to close out. It's been 6 weeks.
Oh. Wait, who?
You, sir, have a tab that you never closed out. This was 6 weeks ago. You and 3 of your friends came in here and drank up a shit ton one night and never paid.
No. I
have the receipt right here, and there's like actually a video clip of you going up and grabbing a round of 4 shots of tequila and like a couple of different other drinks.
Oh,
it's definitely you.
Right.
And then he points up at the ceiling, and you see the camera that obviously captured this shot.
All right, fine. You know what? And I'm just gonna mumble under my breath that I know I gave the card stick to
the card stick.
To one of those 2 knuckleheads to pay. Fine.
Do me a favor.
I gave him
roll a 2d6. Add. Do you have what do you got for intelligence? You have a +1, so give me a 2d6 +1.
And I got streetwise too, so.
Yeah, throw that in there. Well, this is for a very specific moment, so just a 2d6 +1.
All right.
Yeah, of course, of course. No, you remember very specifically to the moment. Like you remember, you get a vision in your head, for lack of a better way to explain it. You have this moment when you gave Spearman the credit card or the stick, whatever. Yep. And then not 18 hours later, Spearman, big, giant, inflatable giraffe. It's suddenly. In your investigatory ways, A plus B equals C.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. Not just that, but it also has a voice box that makes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It has a voice box.
it
makes giraffe sounds. Whatever a giraffe sound might be, it makes it, and it makes it very well.
Yeah, and I'm just like, all right, fine. So I'll look at the barkeep. I'll hand him my thing, and I'll say, let's just pay this off, and I wish, yes, and so we'll get this paid off, and I'll just kind of rub my hands across my face and just mutter something in
German.
Yes.
At this point, if you would like to make a streetwise roll to attempt to re-persuade this guy onto your side because you finally paid your tab, please do.
I am.
Well, I punch Helwig in the shoulder real quick and say, "Nice job, you uncovered something."
There we go.
Yeah, he uncovered something, all right. Another counseling session with Spearman.
Yes, it's gonna be wall to wall this time.
I
So
mean,
that'd
they're
be
freaking
12.
millionaires and they're stealing money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so while you're talking to this bartender, he says, actually there is a guy who came in from what's the station right or system right before Arcturus or Aurora? It's like Dunkelheim or some shit. Hochbaden, where am I? Arcturus, Adabutus. Yeah, Hochbaden. He actually came from Hochbaden, he says. And he said that, yeah, it's weird. Everything coming in or out of Arcturus Station has been getting a ghost signal. Like, carrier's there, but nothing's on it.
And by nothing on it, you mean like it's just you're not even getting like the automated transmission or nothing like that.
You'd have to talk to the captain. It sounded like the radio's on, but nobody's home.
And,
I say we could also check with the mail service.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. We could check with the mail service. And I'm gonna ask him if he, I asked this guy I'm talking to, he's like, "Where's the captain hanging out?" Because we're just curious. We're concerned. Some mail that we've had sent out is not coming, things like that. We're hearing weird noises, and we just want to make sure that we're prepared.
It's the end of the arm. What's there to be prepared for?
It's
a French station. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, but there's been some weird stuff throughout the whole universe. In case you haven't heard. And,
that empire of what's the fucks? Yeah, fuck those guys too. Fuck them even harder.
Yeah, well, yeah, we agree. No problem. But,
I give him a high five.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, I know he gets it. Yeah, but he's afraid because.
Wait a minute, I know your face. Where have I seen your face? He's talking to you, Thurgar.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, where have I seen your face before?
And I just groaned at that. I was like, oh god.
On the television, I imagine.
On the television? What are you, a superstar or something? What's your name?
No.
I tell him my name. It's like I'm Joseph Milligan.
You know what? I'm gonna give you a drink. Fuck them Flex guys.
You.
Those guys are so haughty-taughty. I don't know what's worse, a Flex or a Frenchman.
I'm
and
like,
he pours you this big, like the big, basically a liter of beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the big fat stein of beer.
Right. I say, and then there's Flex that are French. And those are the ones we've had problems with.
And he reaches down under the register, or under where the register is, and he grabs a bottle of tequila and he just pours himself a shot and knocks it back real fast. All right, let's say I don't know where the captain is, and it's not on me to tell people where they go when they come on into port, because I just feel like that might be rude. I'd probably lose some customers, but if you look around, he's around. But listen, you ask me, I'm nobody. I'm just a bartender here in the middle of the arm, but Arcturus Station, that's a science fucker thing out in the back end of nowhere. They go dark. It's French. Who cares?
Yeah, but he has and I kind of toss a thumb at Milligan, and so I go, he may have a sweetheart, and I give him the.
You got one in every port, don't you?
He's a pilot. What do you expect?
Of course. The bartender just straight, just like hard rolls his eyes.
Right.
You see in the moment of him rolling his eyes, that contemplation of, is that worth another shot? I don't know.
Well, and I want to just point out, like, just like that girl and that girl, and that one over there that's riding on the one dude's lap, he is those type of girls. Now, I'm not saying they're working girls, and I'm not saying that they're
that one definitely is.
Yeah. But I'm not saying they work for the hour, but I also know about the room above and the bar fine. You don't have to play anything over on me. I've been around.
Sure. You keep talking like that, I might have to ask you to leave, though. Professional. He's a professional courtesy.
Right, and I kind of give him a knowing, eye wink. Anyhow,
I'm gonna try to use what little advantage I've built here, and just ask him, well, where do the ship captains normally hang out?
Where a ship captain goes, If it's not their ship, it's probably a bar, a brokerage. Fuck, I don't know.
Did he say what ship it was? Because if so, we can just find it.
You guys have started asking an awful lot of questions here.
Well, we're looking for some information, so yeah, we got to ask questions
information
to find out
isn't cheap,
info.
and my bar is more important than you.
All right, okay. So I've already paid the bar tab, and I've already paid. So you know what? Just because I'm feeling generous, just because I'm feeling extra generous.
The sound of Hellwig going, fuck, I gotta pay this guy some more money.
Right. I'm gonna go. Not top shelf, but not bottom shelf, but medium shelf for everyone at the immediate bar. I don't care about the goddamn tables. Everyone at the immediate bar, including yourself.
The two of you, me, that girl, and those two. All right. What are we drinking?
Yeah. And I look hard at Milligan. Not the good stuff, damn it. The medium stuff. The one we know he.
He looks over. The bartender turns around behind himself. He's like, "Here." And he grabs this bottle. It's a clear white glass, and it says Matron Tequila.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. Yeah, we're just gonna do it.
Once again, I am using not brand naming.
Right.
La Matron Tequila.
Yes, that one.
And he pours, I don't know, whatever I said, 6 or 7 shots or whatever. Yeah. And he says, $250.
So I hand over 250 credits to him and just say, okay.
Probably like 50 fucking bucks a shot right there, but whatever.
Yeah.
That seems outlandish.
And I just kind of inwardly groan a little bit.
And I'll tip him 100.
Ah, well, my light bill just got paid. Thanks.
And
then he disperses the shots amongst you and him and the 2 or 3 others and lifts him up, and he says something. He says something in some other language, but it's probably like cheers or whatever, schnapps or some shit. Throws it back.
Yeah.
Does the old double tap on the bar top.
Right, and I was gonna say, okay, I'm not willing to do this for much longer, but and I hopefully that buys some goodwill between us and see where that goes.
I'll let you come back into my bar. Listen, guys, I know the game, and I would love to give you the information, but I really feel like some of these captains would like their privacy kept. If you can get it some other way, I won't stop you. But I feel like if I'm the one giving it, I'm an easy target for the captain that's angry.
Between the two of you, you have like $1.5 million. Give the guy like 10 grand.
That would definitely change his opinion, but he's definitely also looking. I think you would probably get the feel for this at this point, where you understand where he's coming from. He's like, listen, it's not every day somebody comes in here trying to bribe information out of him, but it happens often enough where he's like, this is cool, but if I start burning the captains that come in here, I suddenly don't have more people coming in here.
Yeah,
so
that's and the cash flow of that just looks really weird.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
20K.
All of a sudden, yeah. You're not here. Shut.
25K.
Do your own money, damn
I think he tries to say that without actually using those words, but that's basically where he's at. He's like, keep burning these captains. I'm not going to get more patrons in here.
Right. So I'll turn around from there and I'll just say, okay, thanks. We appreciate the information, and I'll kind of proverbially, again, run my credit stick across the charge thing and leave him a over 30% tip for whatever it is, and
your patronage is definitely appreciated. Come back anytime.
Yeah. And then
he knows he burned you, but he also knows that you'll come back.
Yeah. So I'll turn around and look at Milligan and go, okay, we're kind of at a standstill. The only place I can think of is to go down to Port Authority, but that would be looking risky. Or we can go to the Spaceman Center and see what they have for information about this one ship. But I think we're kind of at a standstill otherwise at this moment, unless you can think of someplace else to try that you've not thought of before.
Well, like I said, the mail service either goes off of ships or uses missiles, to deliver messages back and forth.
Yeah.
We can at least figure out a better timeline for when that process stopped.
So
if they have any insight on it, yeah.
So let's go ahead. Let's go on over to the mail service and go find the postmaster general and go ask him.
Interstellar Courier. All your interstellar shipping needs. The 2300 version of something of a UPS FedEx had a love child.
Right. I'm just saying, just because they go from planet to planet and are expressly busy does not mean that they.
I love how you said that. Just because they go from planet to planet and they're expressly busy. I caught what you're putting down. Yeah, so you're gonna go to some sort of courier service to see what they might know.
Yeah, basically, turn around and I will kind of start the whole same questions. Hey, we've had some mail, some packages come back. His girlfriend's out there on this station, and we're not sure if the mail is keep going. He's a little worried. She's supposed to be coming back soon.
Yeah, so the person you talk to, you get the front desk, let's call it a receptionist, for lack of a better thing to call it, who kind of looks at you through your spiel and just kind of starts tapping away on her computer keyboard and starts pulling stuff up, and she's like, well, as it turns out, everything that we've sent to Aurora has made it. We haven't had a whole lot, and of course I can't give you too much privileged information here because it's my job. And she does that little head nod thing, but you could tell she's actually indicating the cameras that are located throughout the lobby.
Right. And I'll just say, I understand it's your job, but if you need to go get a water break or
No. I'm pretty fond of what I do here, but I'll tell you this: we don't get a lot of traffic heading out beyond Ada Buddhist, and I have heard rumors. I don't know how substantiated they are. I don't know how valid or factual they are, but it does appear that sometime in the last 2 months, the Station Arctura did go quiet. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows nothing, or they're not telling us. But we do know the pipeline, as it were, is open all the way through to Aurora.
The pipe. Oh,
like when she says pipeline, she's referring to like the flow of goods back and forth. Like if it was a road, the blockage is at somewhere beyond Aurora. But as we can tell from looking at the map, there isn't much beyond Aurora except Arctura, and beyond that is there's dragons or something.
Okay.
I think.
So I'll kind of mention that to Milligan and just say, maybe we need to clue in Tankerson about this, and maybe we need to get Wyatt included on this. Maybe you need to reach out to some of your contacts.
I let him know I've already done that. I've already contacted several different people at this point.
Right.
To try to see what information we can. One of them, somebody I worked with at Rebco SAR, and I'm trying to see if this can't generate us from work. There's a missing ex-Rebco SAR personnel on Aurora right now. And my contact's pretty concerned about, the fact that he just disappeared. So I asked her if Rebco SAR would be willing to hire outside help. And, of course, it's going to take, over a month for me to hear back from her, I imagine, with her being 4 jumps away. So, we've got that to wait for anyway. And maybe some good information and maybe some job opportunities will come from that.
Maybe we have, hang on, let me look at my, and I kind of flip through my little tablet thing and I go, oh, well, maybe we can get a hold of Mr. Frakes. And ask if he wants to come join us for a beer.
Okay. I did send him a message. I don't really expect a response from him, but we'll see.
Well, you sent one to the other guy, William Walker or whatever his name was.
I sent one to Jillian Hobbs. I sent one to William Walker, and I sent one to Jonathan Frakes. And then I said, I doubt he'll respond, but
that's because Jonathan Frakes is busy trying to direct more Star Trek episodes. I mean, all jokes aside, I have mad respect for Frakes. Don't misunderstand anything I say here.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I'm at the
So
end of my points
sorry.
of contact. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm at my end of my points of contact. Looks like you've expressed all yours. So we're kind of gonna be in a, I guess, waiting game right now until there's
Holding
something
pattern
else.
until the GM generates some answers for you.
But I tell you what, once we get into a ship that can haul some cargo, that's a good corridor to be traveling down. We got Beta, Come, Bernice, or whatever along the way.
Beta
we got
Coma
Kilimanjaro along the way.
Yep.
You know, we
Right.
got Hotchbod, we've got Etabutis, all that stuff. So that is a good corridor for us
Milligan
to
over here
work
trying to get
profit.
home. He misses Mama.
Yep.
Right.
Not that that's a bad
Right.
thing, mind you. Okay, at about this point, you guys do get messages on your links, all three of you.
Okay.
And I'm going to run through them real quick, and then we will look at which scene we'll do next. But first, Helwig, you get your reminder that you have an upcoming meeting with Oppenheimer in the next GM Handwave timeframe.
Okay.
Wyatt, you get a ping back from Hartman indicating that the Blue Robin is an acceptable location at an acceptable time. That comes back on your link. And then lastly, Milligan, you get a ping from Tankerson.
Okay.
It is a quick text message indicating that he needs to sit down and see you. It's not urgent, but the sooner the better.
Okay. I tell him I'm on my way.
All right. So, in my notes, because this is the order I have it written in, I have Charles going first, of course, because that's usually the order I go in. Any objections?
No.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right, Mr. Helwig, you are meeting with Captain Teresa Oppenheimer at the Blue Lobster, I believe.
Right.
I think
Yep.
that was
So
a stupid name I came up with.
the Blue Lobsters. Yeah, same place.
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna look at Spearman and IL, and I'm definitely gonna look at Spearman hard and say, "You're staying here behind the wheel."
Are you grounding
And I
him?
said-
Are you grounding him?
I said I'm not grounding him,
Okay.
but I'm gonna look at IL and say, if he even moves to do anything other than scratch his chin, don't break his arms.
What if he scratches
Just cut
his
him
arm?
up. IAO.
All right, I got you, boss.
Just scratch him enough and squirt him with lemon juice.
He's not a cat, you know.
No. Cut him with a pencil of paper and then squirt him with some lemon juice and then rub some salt into that wound.
Ooh, did he piss you off? I feel like he pisses you off.
He may have pissed me off, and I'm gonna look at Blaine and go, this boy, rubber giraffe.
The giraffe. Yeah, I remember that stupid thing. And wouldn't you shut up all night?
My credit card.
Motherfucker, are you serious? She just busts up laughing.
And I'm like, I'm not even angry, as I'm impressed by his palming skills, but the fact that he didn't pay the bill.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go in. 5 minutes later, you kind of meander in, find a corner, watch me.
Okay. And you want these two knuckleheads to stay out in the parking lot?
Stay out in the parking lot. Yeah. Radio, water's in the back. All right. You can crack a window, whatever. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, AC's on. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you saunter up to the bar. Probably about 2 minutes after you get situated and you get your first drink, whatever your drink might be, beer or other, is delivered. Teresa pops in and you see her, because I imagine you try to situate yourself where you can kind of have an eye on the door at the bare minimum.
Yep.
You see her. She'll step in. She'll look around. She'll recognize you from across the busy restaurant, because it's probably like right around dinner time, or maybe just after the main dinner rush. So there's still plenty of people, but it's not like constant turnaround.
Yeah, it's just before the end of the good happy hour.
Yeah. So she will make her way through the crowd and up to the bar and have a seat next to you, and she'll order herself like an iced tea or something. She'll say, Fritz, been a little while. I know the last time we talked, it wasn't the most pleasant of meetings, but I'm glad you were at least thoughtful enough to agree to sit down.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. I'm just gonna look at her and just go, oh, okay. Yes, it's nice to see you as well. Yeah, it has been a while, and I promise I won't act as crazy.
Well, that'll be a pleasant change. Although I
Yes.
must admit, I was amused by the frozen burrito.
Yeah, yeah. Everyone thought that was great. Everyone still talks about that occasionally with the rest of us.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
so we're here.
Yeah.
You're here. I'm here. Let's talk about Flex.
Well, there's a couple of things I wanted to talk about, to be honest.
Hey.
I'll start with this. Your man, Mr. Milligan, his little press conference a few months back. Really,
And I just groan at that.
Yes, yes. I know where he's coming from. We did that intentionally. We wanted that air of animosity. In case you couldn't tell, you guys were chosen intentionally because you were the only ones capable across the entire squadron of figuring out anything more than what we knew. In that, something weird was going on your ship, and you guys had actually made progress to figuring that out. So we chose you guys to be cut loose so that we could keep an eye on you, and maybe you would continue doing those what's really going on here, and we would actually get some inroads to figuring out the Empire's problem or goal.
Uh-huh.
Unfortunately, you guys got tied up with the Durandal. That, it didn't work for us.
Well, we made a new friend named Frank.
Yeah, pentapods. They're, charmingly creepy. Creepily charming. I'm not sure which way to go on that.
I mean, the whole thing was just really scary. The planet was scary. The pentapods were scary. Some of the tunnels with things was like scary. I'm not even going to go into it all. I'm just gonna say, yeah, it was all scary. But it was even more scary being on a ship that we almost died on because you all don't have a good control on background checks for your people.
You are
Bam.
not unfamiliar with, and she uses air quotes, this world. Investigations and spy, counter spy.
Yeah.
You're not one, but you are familiar, I'm sure, with the term sleeper agent.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I
deep
know.
plants. And she's saying these words
Yeah.
very carefully because she's aware that she's in public, but even still.
Right. I'm gonna go, yeah, I know. It's just, when you're speeding along towards a planet at stutter warp speed, it kind of makes you come to realization that space is scary, life is short, and being turned into nothing but protoplasmic goo, dust, or whatever happens when stutter warp hits a planet.
Bad things, I'm told.
Yes, makes you uncomfortable.
Bad things,
Anyhow.
TM.
Yeah. Anyhow, Empire of the Man, they're assholes. Milligan, yeah, I get it. He kind of made me frustrated. I don't know if you know, but we've been chased by like multiple people now, so we have multiple targets on our back. Anyhow, what do you want to do? Let's cut.
I'll be
the
honest.
slack.
Other than the other topics I want to discuss here, this first one, I would love it if you guys had a little bit more freedom of maneuver, because I'm sure your natural proclivity and curiosity will lead us to the Empire of Mankind.
Oh yeah, I'm sure of that too.
To that end, you may or may not be aware of this, but we have reached out to Mike Tankerson and assisted in some of the financial aspects of the recovery and repair and that ship.
And at that, I'm not even gonna like arch my eyebrow, but if for someone who's played cards with me, I'm gonna kind of have a slight tell that's gonna go, oh, okay, and I'm just gonna salt that one away to the back of my head, reveal to everyone when I get back.
Fritz, I'll be honest with you, and maybe I'm showing too much of my own hand here. We want you guys to do the job that we quote unquote assigned to you. We want you guys to have the freedom of maneuver so that you can chase down things, maybe of your own accord, maybe with a little bit of guidance from us. We're hoping, I'll be honest, I'm trying to open up some form of dialogue here and continued correspondence.
We're on, at least I'm on board. I don't know about the other two. And
this is why we came to you, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've already deduced that on your own.
Yeah. I kind of figured as much. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't.
You're breaking up a little bit, Charles.
Okay, hang on.
Yep.
You know, because he is the sane one.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like out of character, like on the one hand, you've got Wyatt, who in his time in that off-site security or off-site place, like he was pretty much just like trying to figure out how to control the situation, break out, survive. Not so much out of animosity, but just I want to survive. And then you have Milligan, who's like, "Fuck you, I will fucking end you." And then meanwhile, here's Fritz, right in the middle, more or less calm, losing his shit, pretending to be crazy, to confuse. But other than that, he was actively trying to gain some information himself.
Yep.
That was recognized because I don't know if you guys figured this out yet, but the three people that we saw in various cutscenes are not stupid.
Right. So anyhow, I'll look at him and just go, okay, you know, we know, I know that the mission that Flex was originally hired to do, that it's what normally supposed to do, is helpful. And sometimes having operators outside of the confines of the box that corporate governance has, and even, and I kind of sit there and pause for a second.
Listen,
I'm not going to say
I got you.
illegalities. Yeah.
I know where you're going. Excuse me. I know where you're going with this. Here's what we want. You guys do what you do, because we feel that eventually it will lead us down the road closer, figuring out where the Empire of Mankind is based and staging from.
Okay.
Keep the open communication. We'll figure out the parameters and the protocols as we go. Two things I need to warn you. The Empire of Mankind has effectively started a war in the Manchurian Army.
Okay.
A lot of this information isn't.
Rumblings.
Yeah, a lot of this information isn't entirely public, but most of it's time delay through the normal media outlets. I will tell you from our own networks of, I'm trying to think of the right word here, through our own chain of command and flow of information. They started out near Canada. I'm going to ping the map for viewers and players alike. Down in here. Erickson, that's it. They started there and they worked their way up to here, where they've effectively taken over this station. They've actually taken over Stark, which is the home world for the, I'm going to say Sung, that might not be the right race.
No, it is the Sung.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
They've effectively blockaded that whole system. Nothing is getting in or out. We don't know what's going on there. The Empire of Mankind has raised its flag, for lack of a better thing to call it, and we need to know more. So anything you guys pick up, and the sooner you pick it up, the better. The second thing I need to warn you about is your new boss. I don't have all the information I would like. I'm actually having less information than I would like before I would even say anything. We have some misgivings about Mr. Tankerson. He is connected to an organization called the Network. And unfortunately, we don't know his intentions, and we don't understand fully his allegiances, or even for that matter, the intentions of the Network itself.
And I just kind of groan at that, and I go, the Network, I heard rumblings of that.
The Network appears to be, from what we have seen so far, and the intelligence we've been able to gather so far, seems to be almost a literal communications network. But there have been small actions, very low grade, a single target eliminated by a small group on various systems, colonies, stations. There's only been a handful of incidents that the only way that we noticed the connection between this group and these events was because of one or two faces that showed up in various imagery.
Mhm.
We don't know the full scope of the network. We don't know the full scope of Tankerson's connection. I would be remiss if I didn't try to give you a heads up. It may be nothing. Tankerson may just be part of the network, and the network may just be some philanthropist, rich billionaire's play toy to gain more information for some corporate takeover at some later date. You could tell she's like trying to downplay the seriousness of it without actually downplaying it. Like she's trying to give like legitimate possibilities, but it's kind of like, however realistic they might be, it's probably not that, because that if it was that, she probably wouldn't even brought it up in the first place. Does that make sense, Charles?
Yeah, no, totally makes sense. And I'm just like, I mean, be sitting there.
You're breaking up a little bit more again. Sorry.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. I'm getting weird connection issues right now myself. You're constantly pinging out all the way to max.
Oh.
On my end.
Okay. Well.
Anyhow.
Yep.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah. Yeah. You're good. You're good.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, I'm just gonna, in character, I'm just gonna roll with what I get told and just go. I like I said, all I've really heard about the network Innsbruck at Innsbruck and when I was working for the security forces was that they're legitimate to a point, but they may be running stuff that is illegitimate at other times, and will always look for the best trade and best deal while keeping themselves as squeaky clean as possible, and that anybody that sniffs down their edges disappears in space. Like,
a lot of what you're saying is checking out with what a lot of the little bit that we do know. I just wanted to point out the possible connection between Tankerson and the network, and by means of heads up, he does have a history of rabble rousing, for lack of a better word. He was a journalist. There was the whole. I don't have my notes in front of me. So in my notes, handwritten notes that I don't have in front of me right this second, I do have a note about something very similar to the Iran-Contra affair taking place with diamonds in a world in the Chinese or the Manchurian arm. That was the main reason why Tankerson left journalism to start his own business, other than the fact that he always wanted to run his own business. This was the final nail, this big event, because he ended up being kidnapped and then he ended up being on trial. There's a whole bunch of shit. He refused to give up his sources, so nothing ever stuck. He maybe he did a little bit of jail time or whatever. But so a lot of that is kind of not necessarily common or public knowledge, but like you already know that because he's been relatively forthcoming with his own personal history, because he's not necessarily proud of it, but it is part of his history, and he even got awards, like journalism awards for it.
Right.
So this is, I guess that would make it more or less common knowledge. But she's using that and pointing it out as an example that he hasn't always been a nice, quiet citizen, go do your job and go home at the end of the day. He's stirred the pot multiple times in the past.
Yeah, and he's mentioned that to us in the past as well, that he kind of was a muckraker.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really put it against him one way or the other.
Well, he used it to justify that he's not afraid to do not entirely legal things.
Yes. It's something about, I don't want to say really truth or justice as much as personal pride.
Yeah, like, well, I think a lot of it has, like, sometimes there's shit that has to be done that isn't necessarily by the letter of the law, but it has to be done in order to preserve things that you've worked on, to preserve other people's livelihoods, things of that nature. Like, he's not trying to be outlaw, but there's a time when you need to do outlaw shit. Yeah,
exactly. Or when the judges haven't ruled the right way. Anyhow, short version is we're on board with. If you want to contact me and I can talk to them, if you want to have a full sit down with the three of us, let me know. But rumor control has it that we may be getting a ship. I can't guarantee anything.
Well, it'll be the ship that we're helping to finance the repairs on.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm just gonna be like eyes wide at that moment. I was like, nobody else was supposed to know that outside of Tankerson.
We've talked with Tankerson as well as a variety of other agencies that are. Tankerson has reached out to a number of agencies in order to pool the cash resources to fund the reclamation, refit, whatevers. Like,
right.
So he's taken out loans. He's reached out to and you would know some of this information already. Like, the University of Elysia is involved with some of the financing. Tankerson's put his own company up. Not put it up, but like he's used his own company assets. He's used his own personal assets. He's taken out a few loans. And what you didn't know until this meeting was that Flex themselves has now a small interest in the recovery of the ship, because they've put up a small percentage of financing. Not enough to gain any sort of control or ownership, just enough to help out.
Right. No, we get it. So I guess, we'll take the message back, and if we need to have another meet with the three of us, so I can, you can talk straight to them, so I'm not playing telephone tag, then let's do that. And
I want to reiterate that sorry, I know I just cut you off. Let me read this line, and then you can finish up whatever you want to say there. She wants to reiterate, and this is what she says. She says, I want to reiterate the seriousness of the situation. The political climate across the three arms is going to change drastically in the next few weeks, at the very least. In the next few months, most likely. The Empire of Mankind has effectively started a war. Making things even worse is it's looking very promising at this point, based on the information we have right now, that the Manchurians are only a few weeks from outright surrendering a lot of their space-based territory to the Empire. This is not common knowledge. This is being kept very low on the radar. We are only nominally aware of this. I never told you this.
Right. And I'm going to go, okay. And I'm just going to mention, too, that what do you know about the Aurora Station situation?
Station Arcturus?
Arcturus.
Arcturus, yes. I'm sorry, Arcturus.
We have heard... We wanted to send a ship out to verify, but we don't have any available at the moment, considering the Empire of Mankind. The closest ship we do have is someone out... I gotta look at the map. I probably should actually start thinking about where these ships actually are. The closest ship we have, last I knew, was Hochbaden. Maybe 2 weeks away. Or not weeks, sorry. 2 jumps away. They wouldn't even say jumps, but basically 2 transits away. We wanted to send a ship out, but that's it. Yeah, let me back up. We wanted Jesus Christ. We wanted to send a ship out to investigate, but we had to divert one ship to Hochbaden. And we haven't had resolution on that situation yet. It does look like the station has gone dark, as you're suggesting. I don't know any new information beyond that.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the Empire of Mankind has been taking up a lot of my attention and resources.
Understood. We just, we're getting pulled in, now I feel like 2 different directions, and we have...
That was the GM's plan!
Right? That's not foreshadowing.
The GM is definitely trying to give you guys plenty of things to do, because eventually you'll figure out what not to do, or something.
I'm gonna look at her straight and just say, our favorite pilot has relatives near there, and he is
yes,
definitely
Mr.
concerned.
Crosshairs or
Cross eyes.
No, not cross. I'm trying to think what the Bullseye guy. Yeah,
Bullseye,
in fact, yes, codename Bullseye. That's what we call him.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. So anyhow, Bullseye has family that lives near there, and he's concerned. So we may need to swing that way first. But we'll need to talk about it amongst the 3 of us. And I'll go, okay, I think we've kind of hit the end road of our conversation, and I'll pay up the tab, and I'll say, we're gonna play this straight, right? No secret squirrel stuff until we need to do secret squirrel stuff.
I think at this point she kind of looks at you, and she's gonna, as you're getting ready to leave, she stands up as well, and she'll put a hand on your shoulder, actually, and she'll look you dead in the eye. And what she does, it's not intimidation or anything. She's giving you one of her. I'm trying to think of the right word here. It's an expression that is absolutely, totally true, and absolutely, This is legitimately her. Like, there's no bullshit here whatsoever. I told you, whether or not you wanted to believe me, I told you guys I was on your side all along. We don't need to do any sort of secret school shit other than to protect ourselves. If any of that changes, I'm sure we can figure it out as we go.
All right. So, yep. Just again, we'll get a hold of you, and as soon as we know more, and maybe we'll have a meet out at at some other place. Maybe. And I'm just kind of rumbling through my head.
She looks around. She's like, "Yeah, something a little less lively, maybe." And then as soon as she says the word "lively," she's like, "Maybe that was a bad choice of words."
Yeah, and I'm just gonna get like as I'm walking out, like maybe the hangar, maybe, and I'm just like wave bye to her as I walk out.
You get a little ding on your link, and it is a contact tab or whatever you want to call it for an individual named Janet Red with 2 D's, not 1, 2. Janet Red.
2 D's. Okay.
And there is a face associated with that name, and it looks surprisingly like Teresa Eppenheimer's.
Oh, nice.
And there's a small note attached, and it's just a squirrel emoji.
Right.
Secret squirrel.
Yep, I get it. And I'm just gonna like give a thumbs up, and mark that as like a private contact, and walk out towards the car, and kind of hopefully glance around the room and catch Blaine.
Yeah, Blaine will. Yeah, Blaine will. She'll make eye contact for like 1 second, and as you walk out the door, she will. She'll finish. She's got a meal in front of her that she's been picking at, some fries that are probably cold by now, and half-drank glass of iced tea. She'll finish She'll finish it up, but she'll stick around for probably another 2 or 3 minutes at least, so it's not obvious, and then leave, go pay her tab, and then exit as well.
Yep.
Because she's not dumb like the other two, who would have gotten up, left without paying the tab, and followed right behind you, 2 steps behind.
Yep, and then I slide in behind Spearman, and just kind of grouse at him and put a finger gun to the back of his head and say, "Bang, you're dead." And give him
Halo looks at you, and you see him lifting his own finger gun in defense, but he already has that look of like, "Fuck, it's too late."
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he knows how to respond. He's just like, damn it, son of a bitch. I almost had you, Fritz. I almost had you.
And I'm going to look at it and go, okay, wait for Blaine to get in and we need to go.
And we have scene. All right, because I got 2 more. Actually, we're going to do... So I wanted to do a couple more scenes. I had a lot more planned than what we're getting through, but that's fine. We're doing some good RP, which is more important to me. Wyatt.
Sorry, what? Who? What?
Yeah, come on. You know who this is.
What's happening? Who are you?
I am your GM. Everything is okay. I promise. Wyatt, you are meeting with Roland Hartman at the Blue Robin, a sandwich eatery. Some pretty good burgers and sandwiches, some decent fries. They make a killer honey mustard, though.
Oh, all right. Yeah, definitely get a salad and get some of that honey mustard.
Yeah. Hartman is already there when you arrive. He looks up at you. You get the impression he's about to lift his hand to wave, like, "Hey, I'm over here," and then he doesn't.
Yeah. So I would, if my wife's amenable, I would have her show up to that restaurant about a half hour earlier, since he has no idea what my wife looks like. So and she would be armed with some kind of small pistol or something like that.
And you guys have a private cell phone network thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, he doesn't know what my wife looks like unless he's done way more work than what I think he has.
Okay.
So if she's amenable, I ask her to be there to give me some amount of support and cover.
Okay. Yeah. So when you show up, Hartman is by himself. Your wife will have confirmed that. In fact, he looks almost as if he was just any other patron if you hadn't had an image that you pulled from previous files from somewhere else. She wouldn't have been able to pick him out. Like, he almost blends in with the crowd at this point. And his conduct really helps sell him as part of the crowd, because he's just another random single person, shows up, takes a small booth that could fit, 2 people at max, orders a burger and some fries and a drink, and he fiddles around on his link like someone who's there by themselves would. And then you show up right about the same time as his food shows up.
Yeah, so I'll sit down and I'll give him a nod, and then I'll go, okay, so 2 white guys past their 20s. I guess we're starting a podcast.
Is that the story we're going with? That's his response as he lifts the top of his sandwich to put some ketchup on it.
I don't know. This is a ridiculous situation I find myself in.
Be ridiculous is, I suppose, one word. Tap on the bottom of the ketchup bottle. Listen, I appreciate you coming to meet me. Do you want anything to eat? I got you if you want. Like, you're meeting me this time, I guess.
Yeah, I'll get a salad and I'll get some honey mustard.
Yeah, the honey mustard is really good.
Yeah, and some mozzarella sticks.
Ooh, I should have got those. You know what? We'll get the platter of sticks, and if you don't mind, I'll take a few.
No, all right, yeah, sure.
All right, sweet. So yeah, he'll wave down a waitress who will take the order and probably a few minutes later bring it by. Listen, can I call you George? I hope I can call you George, because it would feel weird to call you by your last name here in this setting.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, go for it.
So first, again, I really want to say thanks for our previous encounter. God, that sounds horrible too. The last time we spoke wasn't the best scenario, but it still turned out in the end. But it worked, I suppose. I managed to make it to Vogelheim. As you recall, that was where I was headed at the time. But since this nasty nonsense in the Manchurian Arm, Vogelheim turned out to be a bust. You do know what's going on in the Manchurian Arm, yes?
Honestly, for the past, I don't know, 10 weeks, I've been on this little shitty frozen ball.
Yes, Grendel, that's right. I saw something on the news about that. The Durandalish or something?
Yeah, no, that's where I've been. I've been supervising the getting that ship out of the
yes, you're an engineer, I forgot. Yeah, that would have definitely been right up your alley. No wonder you've been busy. Listen, so the short version is this.
Met a lot of pentapods.
These guys are weird, aren't they? It's so weird to hear them. Like, it's cool to hear them talk, but that resonant echo thing is so odd.
Yeah, no, I brought them meat, and they were pretty happy with that. So,
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, George. You bring me meat. Damn, this sounds horrible too. This is, and for the record, this is Roland saying this, not just me. Roland is actually saying this too.
You know, if you were to slip me a bunch of meat.
Look, space is cold, and any port will do.
Space is cold, my friend. So yeah, he'll take a bite of his sandwich. He's eating some sort of fried chicken sandwich, but it's not like a frozen chicken patty. It doesn't even. It looks like it's actually like chicken fried steak chicken. If that, like, fried chicken sandwich, I guess is where I'm going with this. It's got some trimmings on it. Lettuce and tomato and some ketchup. Now that he put some on there. And he says, yeah. So effectively, I guess I really don't like using this word, but let's just call them our mutual friends with the very dark ships.
Yeah.
They've made a massive play in the Manchurian Arm.
I mean, they are gathering captains, and they already had capable ships so that they can send on long-range missions. So they already had an immense amount of capital. So
yeah,
I don't find that too surprising.
No, it is quite unfortunate for, well, of late, the Canadians, and as it turns out, the Sung. I've
The who?
gotten they oh god, what does the Sung look like? Are the Sung the little bird people?
Yes.
Kinda.
Yeah. So they're like, I think they're like a meter and a half tall. Maybe a little bit taller than the Pentapod, but they have like wings and they've got kind of bird-like qualities. Bipedal, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't. There's an image somewhere around here. I'll figure it out one day. But their home world is Stark. Stark is what the humans call it. They call it. Actually, I think they call it Mother, or something.
No, that's a Zying.
Oh yeah,
There's two sentient races.
Yeah,
in
that's
that
right. There's
system.
two different ones in there. It's either Mother or
It's some bunch of alphabet soup, is what it is.
It could very well be, actually.
Yeah.
And so Roland slips you from his pocket a small. We have been calling them geek sticks, but people would probably recognize them as like little thumb drives or something like that. He says, when you get a minute, take that and show that to your friends. And I imagine you guys will do whatever it is you choose to do, even if it is nothing. Consider that one free. And let me explain why. If you recall, my initial efforts were to clear Claude Bardine's name insofar as Flex and any other governments might be concerned because of various fraud and other charges that had been leveled against him. And the reason why Vogelheim didn't work out, among other things, is Bardine was about to be remanded to a state prison on Terrain, and would have been if he hadn't taken his own life. So, everything I've been working on for the last several months or year, down the drain. So now I'm just trying to find ways to hurt the people that I think are possibly responsible. This empire of mankind. Yeah.
So your answer to a terrorist organization is to then be a terrorist.
You have heard the expression fighting fire with fire, yes?
Eye for an eye just leads to a lot of people getting blind.
If it saves the lives of many innocents who retain their vision, does it matter if I can see?
Oh, so what do you want from me?
Take that thumb drive. Show it to your friends. You guys do what you want with it. Call it a gift, a thank you for allowing me the opportunity to chase what, through no fault of your own, ended up being a dead end. If you come across information about our quote-unquote mutual friends, let's share. Maybe we could do something about getting them out of the French arm, if nothing else, before they do hear what they've done there. And he's referring to the Materian arm as well.
Yeah, no, I will definitely look over this. And he'll hand him over a debit card and a piece of paper with a PIN number. And it's like, here you'll find a prepaid debit card. You'll find that there's the legal maximum amount before financial institutions start to get involved. Do you think in real life is like 10 grand?
You're talking about like the FDIC or what the hell it's called?
Yeah.
Or you're talking more like tax code, IRS custom.
Yeah, it doesn't like that. There's a certain amount of money that you can put on prepaid cards or send through.
Yeah, I feel like 10,000 is
a MoneyGram.
Yeah, I feel like 10,000 is the limit before you start getting questions asked or additional tax fees shit goes on. So yeah, we'll call it 10 grand as the cap before Big Gov gets in the way. And he looked at you and he takes it And he kind of gives you a quizzical look, and he's like, "What's this for?"
I'm still rather interested in finding the captain that tried to send a spaceship into the upper atmosphere of the planet, and I would still like to
Briggs.
have information out there, getting people out there to look for it, and you have half the qualifications, which is wanting to do the job.
He looks at you, and his quizzical look turns to a more, I'm trying to think, what's the word? Knowing look. I think you'll find that I may have acquired a few more skills since last we talked, but your contribution is greatly appreciated, and he'll slip it into his pocket. I'll send you some contact information, some direct line contact info.
All right.
And I'll give you a little bit of a heads up. Since our mutual friends became so active in the Manchurian arm, their activity in the French arm has diminished greatly. There are, however, still a few active cells here in the French arm, and I don't have anything tangible, but it would not surprise me if there was a move made soon.
Yeah. Any information? Yeah. No. We've part of the disadvantage of myself looking at this directly is
we don't have enough eyes to be everywhere.
No, it's I'm a known entity.
Yes.
So my actions, any action I take would be seen.
Exactly.
And it's hard to do clandestine operations if your enemy knows what you look like.
I might know a guy or two that can see what I can do. This will, and he taps this pocket where he put that card. This will go a long way to smoothing the road. Such things. George,
No,
I think this has been a pretty good meeting.
Yeah. No, it definitely could have gone sideways, and the last time I met someone in a restaurant, no one blew up.
The shootout. I heard about that.
Yeah, that was
intense, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, not a great event to have happen.
No, I've made it a point in my life to avoid interactions of that sort. And I think there's like a smirk when he says the word interactions.
Well, it wasn't exactly our goal. Whether or not we were the reason for it happening, we were still caught by it.
Well, surprise isn't. Well, surprise. So.
Yeah.
George, I appreciate your time. I think I'm going to take the rest of my meal to go. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up with me before I leave?
No, not particularly. We should probably set up a more indirect means to communicate in the future, as the most dangerous way is for us to talk.
Before you finish that sentence, your link dings, and you want to take a look at it. There is a new contact information.
All right, and I will file that away, and I will give that some kind of weird, name, like I don't know, like.
Oh, it already has a weird name on it. Do you look at it?
Yeah,
it says rat, but it's spelled. It says rat. And it has his face, and it's spelled RHAT.
All right. And I'll change that to Pizza Hut AC repair guy.
He gives you a code name, and you change it to another code name. That's awesome. Okay. I think we have a scene.
Well, if someone looks through my contacts, they'll see a funny-looking name called Rat. They're like, oh, well, obviously that's something important. But a Pizza Hut AC repair guy is like, oh no, that was just a thing.
Absolutely.
He didn't clear it out of his phone.
Yeah. So unless you have anything else, or you do anything to slow him down or stop him, Hartman will stand up with the bill and go to pay for it, and he'll just leave.
Yeah, no, I can't think of anything else I need from him at this time.
Okay. You'll get a ping from your wife, who is within, she's like on the other side of the main seating area, but she has a clear line of sight to you, if not necessarily to Hartman. But you'll get a ping from her, and it's just a quick message, and it says, "Everything good?" Okay. I'm gonna head home, unless I gotta stop and grab some cauliflower. All right. And our final scene coming up now, which it may take us a little bit. We may go slightly over with this one. But our next scene, Milligan meets with Tankerson.
Yep. So I assume I'm meeting with Tankerson before these other two events even happen, because I left straight from that other meeting.
I mean, it can. Or their meetings are taking place while you guys are meeting. Well, like all three meetings could be happening more or less simultaneously. But
at this point, there's been no transfer. There's been no transfer of information between us at this point, right?
Correct. There has not.
Okay.
Your meeting with Tankerson is back at his estate.
Okay.
There's he's got a handful of these little quasi conference rooms or business meeting room type deals, and he's in there, and he's got a couple of different folders and documents, stuff like that. Just waiting for you to show up. And when you do show up, he hands you a folder that contains a number of different pieces of paper and whatnot, like actual hard copy. And he says, "Here, I got a task for you guys. I normally I'd go to Wyatt, but he's pretty tied up with all of this Durandal shit, so I need to pass it to you, I guess. I guess you're the next man down the line."
Yep.
Listen, the short version to this is the normal crew for my ship, the Iron Jolly. I need them somewhere else for a little while, and they have a task of their own to do, but it's strictly based here on Beowulf. I need you guys to crew the Jolly, run out to Beta Canum, drop off the cargo, pick up some more shit, and come on back. Pretty much a straightforward run. Shouldn't take more than about a month or so altogether. All the details are right there in the folder. You got any questions? I'm sure there's some questions. He kind of chuckles a little bit, and he's like, "It's not normal for me to give you a task like this, so I'm sure there's plenty of questions. So let's get into it."
Any security issues with the cargo?
I mean, it's just 25 tons of manufactured shit, just sports memorabilia and other shit you can normally find inside a stadium, but it's 25 tons, so please don't lose
no problems getting it. Yeah, no problems getting it through quarantine, right?
No, shouldn't be any problems like that whatsoever. Okay. If you want, you can look inside that folder. It's got the shipping manifest.
Okay.
As well as customs forms and whatever other documentation you might need.
This is the Thoreau, right?
Yes, correct. The Thores.
Yeah.
It's a Thores class courier. You'll have, I think it can carry like 30 tons or something like that, but it's got 25 tons is what you're carrying.
Okay.
This is like I said, it's a pretty straightforward run. You fly out to Beta Canum. You'll have to stop in, I forget the name of the next system over.
Kilimanjaro.
That sounds right. Yeah, Kilimanjaro.
Yep.
You'll have to stop in Kilimanjaro to top off and dump your charge.
Yeah, because that's a long haul right there.
Yeah, and then from there you'll head to Beta Canum. When you get on the surface, there's a contact. Did I put the name in here? Oh yeah, Marco Jacobi is the contact. He's located in Bayview on the New Africa continent, Beta Canum. You'll have to land at the starport, which is not in Bayview. So you'll have to cross. You'll have to do some cross-continental driving, about 10 hours at highway speeds, from what the captains told me. So basically, you'll land in the city, drive for 10 hours, dump the stuff, go back to the city, load the ship up, fly back home.
So how are we going to He's talking about transporting 25 tons on the ground.
Correct.
Okay, so we're going to
But he
rent
gave you a
trucks.
name.
There's going to be trucks. Okay,
Yeah,
so
he gave you a
dude's
name.
going
So
to take care of all that.
Yeah, so yeah,
Okay.
he's gonna listen. When you land, get a hold of Marco. Marco will take care of everything.
Okay.
He may need a little bit of support, so just help facilitate where needed. But he should have the trucks, lined up for you. Might take a day or two to get it cross-loaded, from one side of the continent to the other, whatever. But Marco's my guy on the ground. Do what he says. You guys come on back. You should be good to go. If you pick up some speculative trade along the way or passengers, that's just more money in your pocket. My 35% as always.
Okie-doke. I only have one other question not related to this job, and that is, have any inroads been made on trying to establish a mercenary contract for our crew?
I forgot we had that conversation. So I don't have anything in my notes about that. I think he gives you that look of like, shit, I knew there was something else I needed to do. Let me see what I can figure out between now and when you guys get back.
Okay.
Also, most likely, by the time you guys get back, the Durandal work should be more or less completed as far as them pulling the crap off that they're not letting you have. So
right.
Maybe start thinking about what kind of work orders you want for stuff you want put on. I've got my hands on some PDCs for you. They're going to be commercial grade. They're not that great. They're kind of generation or 3 out of date, but it's better than nothing if anybody decides to take a shot at you. And let's be honest, space is dark. Dark is scary. He's referring to, obviously, the potential for piracy.
Oh, okay.
And the right for everybody everybody ought to be able to defend themselves. He's from Texas, by the way.
Right.
The Texas colony on Ellis. So he's definitely got I'm carrying a gun. If I got to, I will shoot you in the face. I'd rather not, but I will.
Here.
You got any other questions for me? There's a lot of information in that folder I gave you, but fuel and life support, you'll just charge it to the ship's account, which in turn goes back to the company funds. You do have a line of credit for anything related to that. Additionally, there is a ship's account for speculative trade, passengers, etc. However, I don't want you guys touching that unless you absolutely need to. That money is for the original crew and not for you. I don't want to affect their bonuses. So, you guys just got this big old payout. You should be all right. Go make yourselves a little bit of profit on the way out and back.
Okie-doke. I will let everybody know. And when is the departure for this?
You have he actually has to stop and think, and he pulls up his own little link device, scrolls through a little bit. Oh, yeah. The 30th, 12 o'clock, 1200 hours. That's your departure time. So you got a couple of days to get everything in order. Get your crew, get your cargo, passengers. 25 tons isn't quite full capacity. You can probably throw some more speculative shit on there before you leave if you want to look for it.
Sounds good.
And then, unless you got anything else for me.
Nah, I had all sorts of questions, but I don't know that information yet, so that'll slide.
All right. So that will wrap where we are from there. Starting next session, I originally had the next scene would have been a chance for all 3 players to come together to talk, plan, etc. So we'll start that next week. So hopefully you guys have some good notes to hold you through the week. So when we do start the next session, you guys will be able to talk about things. Obviously, I'm going to help remind you on what's what. Other than that, let's start at the top and work our way through thoughts, feedback, etc. for tonight, starting with Charles.
I know they're electronic dice, but damn, they were cold today.
Yeah, they were. Yes, they were.
Well, sort of the first shooting session, they got cold fast. I'm challenged with the fact that we have 2 are now 3 different things, and I wonder which one's named Red Herring.
I will tell you this, strictly above board and under the auspices of being upfront and honest with you guys, I don't have red herrings. So the things you have been thrown are legitimately actionable things. They have, let's just put it this way. You stand at a crossroads with 3 paths ahead of you. One being Empire of Mankind, one being this cargo mission, and one being whatever else there is that I can't think of off the top of my head.
The station and Milligan's
life. Yes, there you go. So all 3 are there. And my intent moving forward is to give you guys a variety of things to investigate, interact, chase, that are all valid. None of them are red herrings, dead, some of them will be dead ends because that's just the way the story goes, but they will all be valid investigations as a generic term.
Right. So, yeah, other than that, I think it was pretty cool. I think, a couple little sessions, just role-playing and try to get the dice rolling again after we haven't done it for a while was good. So,
yeah,
that's about all I have to say.
All right. Wiggles, what do you got for feedback and other thoughts?
I don't know. It was fun. It sounded like we're just doing a lot of groundwork, setting things up again.
Mm-hmm.
To order to continue forward with the new section of the plot. So I think it was a lot of good groundwork being set up.
Excellent. And Thurgor, go ahead, roast me, Thurgor.
No, there's nothing to roast. What are you talking about? We covered a lot of stuff, and we opened up a lot of storylines.
Yes.
And now we get to pick and choose. Now, granted, the cargo run, I don't see as being an optional storyline.
It is not.
I mean, that's our job, so.
No, that would. I mean, let's put it this way: Tankerson is your major patron and effectively your boss, and he says, "I need you to do this." Guess what your next thing is?
Yeah. So once we have our little powwow at the beginning of next session, and we share all our information amongst each other, I think that's going to give us, once we piece it all together, a little bit of insight and maybe a little bit of direction on where we can more safely go right now. As much as I would love to go and help the Sung at Stark, because I've always been interested in that. I don't know about
looking at
yet.
the map. You're looking at weeks and weeks.
Oh yeah, it took
getting over there. And like that, getting to the Sung homeworld from here is a campaign in and of itself.
Yep.
And
but
God help you if you get there and find out what's really going on. But I know what's going on, and I'm not going to tell you. But God help you if you found out.
Now, it can't be good no matter what. They're either subjugating them or they're weaponizing them, one or the other. And that'll be part of our discussion next time. Yeah. So they may be giving them stutter warp tech and arming their ships and using them as fodder for their space conquests.
Well, I'll put it this way. You guys had an opportunity at the end of the first season to acquire some information that you never got. Had you acquired that information, you may have been able to guess that once you were told that the Empire was blockading, cutting off Stark, you might have been able to figure out what they were about to do. But you never got that information. There was a pathway that could have been chosen that was not.
Yeah.
And that's not knocking you guys. Like, that's just, listen, in real life, how many times we look back and be like, motherfucker, if only I had taken the opportunity to do that then, I would have been able to have more info now.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a dead-end system. It's not, a militarily significant position or anything like that.
No, but I will.
So they got to be doing something else in there. Yeah, they got to be doing something else in there, and none of it can be good. So
I'm gonna throw a visual reference for viewers and whatnot real quick.
I was trying to count the jumps, and I've already gotten lost twice.
So imagine and if you haven't figured it out by now, a lot of the cutscene narration in the last several episodes, basically since the season started, when I think about it, has been tales of the Empire of Mankind doing this. They are literally laying the foundation for a literal empire. There's more, but storyline and time lapse relevant. I can't reveal it yet.
Oh yeah.
Because as someone just pointed out, it's a bunch of jumps from one system to where you guys are, which means even at the best possible speeds, it's a few weeks before you would find out more information. But you also got told that the Manchurians may very well be capitulating soon. So
right.
And they have to go through the core.
I'm sorry?
And they have to go through the core, which is all and all that other fun stuff.
Yep.
What was I gonna say?
Well, I apologize for derailing you, but please try to figure it out or try to remember.
Oh, about Briggs. So the note that Briggs wrote could just be him being ugly, trying to make us nervous or whatever, but I doubt it. And it pretty much says he's coming to us.
Well, his message was basically keep an eye on the time because time runs out for everybody, but yours is running out faster than most. That's effectively what he was saying. Basically, he was threatening you or challenging you.
Right. So if most of their ships are way over in sunk space, then he's probably still around. So we'll piece all that together, and maybe some of those isolated pockets. Granted, we're in no shape to, especially not in a Thoris.
Not in a Thoris.
We're in no shape to get into any confrontation. Not even in the whatever we wind up calling the Durando, because it's got one PDC on it, which you have to get up close and personal. It hits really good.
Oh yeah, it's got the accuracy trait or whatever that trait is. Yeah,
it's like +5 if a ship's a certain size, and it's still got a pretty good plus if it's bigger than that. So, it's not a bad weapon. It's just not enough for much of anything. So,
I just noticed your guys' comments in TTS chat.
Oh, yeah, I think it's Deadwetter. No, but no lie. As soon as I find out that Chicky Girl called me Bullseye, that's what my new nickname's gonna be.
All right. That will. Charles, you good? Or are you just leaving the table?
I'm good. I'm just leaving the table. Sorry.
No worries. I'm literally about to wrap it up. So, thanks, my friends, for stopping by and hanging out. Let me give these guys a chance to say anything they might have for outro, starting with Charles, of course.
Rain, go away. Come again when it's a warmer day.
Here you go. Wiggles, any thoughts for your outro closeout?
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm gonna go with
where are you all again?
Got it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, we were looking for the answer in the form of a question.
This is not Jeopardy.
I did say it in a form of question. I'm sorry, who all you guys are again? Question mark.
The question we were looking for was, why is Omar great? Thurgor, what do you got?
I'm just glad we're back to it.
Yeah,
that was too long of a break.
It was.
And I'm looking forward to next week when we put some stuff together and figure out what we're going to do.
Curious to see what I'm going to come up with when I do game prep this weekend. When I prep next session, it's like, all right. Because I've had a bunch of different ideas, and the ideas have been running around in the back of my head for weeks. So this is going to be very interesting how I take the events that we have conducted versus the ideas that I've had and what that gets put on paper for next session. So
I did need to know one last thing from Tankerson.
What was that?
And that is when he needs us back.
He is expecting you to be back in about a month.
Okay.
So it's going to take roughly a week each jump.
Yep.
All told, all things together. So he's expecting you back without putting a hard date on the calendar, probably about the end of February, beginning of March.
Okay.
Just as a straight up shotgun ballpark figure.
Okay. I'm just wondering how much wiggle room we have as far as traveling.
Not much from what he's because he hasn't expressly said, but he is expecting you to basically go out, come right back.
Yeah.
But he also knows that you're going to take a day or two before you hit FTL. You're going to take a few days in FTL. You're going to take another day or two to get to the planet and land. Take another day or two to get things loaded, discharge, and then get back up again. And rinse and repeat 3 more times before you're home. So
Yeah.
roughly a week.
So no popping out the Arcturus to see what's going on.
No. In fact, he'd probably be very incredibly disappointed that you decided to do that. Not angry, just very disappointed.
Maybe there's money in it.
That might reduce some of the disappointment, but the disappointment's not going away. All right, my friends, that is all we have for tonight. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed the show. If you have enjoyed the show, or if you've enjoyed the video because you're watching it on YouTube starting tomorrow morning, please consider all the likes and subscribes and all the other buttons on the screen. But most important to me, personally, come down to the Discord and hang out with us. Talk shit with us. Tell us what a great job we're doing or how we suck, and maybe we can do things better. No, don't do that last part, because we know we suck, and we're not going to get better because we suck. That was a joke. Nothing more. We are going to get out of here, my friends. So, stay safe out there. Make sure you're doing what you got to do to take care of you and yours. And as for me and mine, we're going to be safe too. And we're going to get out of here while we're doing it. Have a good one, my friends. Oh, where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? There it is.